Hey, we're back.
Just in time. I got nothing to say.
I was jigging out in the kitchen making my tea.
My hair looks the best, man. I look like that. You remember that movie? What's it called? Something About Mary. when she put the hair cream that wasn't hair cream.
I'd tell you something now, Hidden. Right. The Scary Movie 6, they released a trailer yesterday. Hanson is back. You know Hanson? Take the hair, champ. Yeah. He's actually back. He's got the same hairstyle as you. I'm not joking. It's a brief look picture.
Well, isn't that the parody of Long Legs? Is it? That's the it's the parody of Long Legs with my good hand.
My missus was like, "Should we go see Scary Movie 6?" I'm like, I don't know. I go see the cinema. I barely go to the cinema these days, but it's not a lot of great movies. I tell you, the worst movie I saw as a fly in a camera was Space Jam 2. That I could have walked out of that terrible movie, terrible, awful. And Inspector Gadget. That was obviously back in the late early 2000s.
Oh God, Matthew Broderick. That was awful. I remember that.
Do you remember that? Terrible.
Big fan of the cartoon. That's where I was like, oh, they can't mess this up, but boy, they did.
That was like early 2000s, I think, like probably late 90s. It was a terrible movie. Saying that, you could say the same thing for Star Wars Episode 1, but I love Star Wars. Well, not anymore, but the prequels for sure. Yeah. But anyway, enough about that. How are you doing, mate? You all good?
I'm still alive, so I'm doing something right.
Fantastic.
Well,
yeah.
Just do a quick roll call.
Hey, Samo. Nice to see you, mate.
Samo, if you're still here.
Science Evidence Fringe.
Thank you very much for saying that.
That's it.
John Stokes, how you doing, brother?
It's Stokes, isn't it? I'm saying your name wrong, mate, for the past year. Stokes, John Stokes. I call you Strokes, mate. Sorry, mate. I'll correct that. Yeah. It's John Stokes. Nice to see you. Thanks for the shout out, mate. Much appreciated. Sheep Pop. Nice to see you.
Here we go.
Drumstick. Nice to see you.
Drumsticks. How you doing? And we got the late, great. No, we shouldn't say late. We got Rebecca here. How you doing?
Hi, Rebecca. Nice to see you.
And One True Saxon, you finally made it, man.
Hey.
How you doing, brother? How you doing? I think that looks about it for. Oh, how could I say that looks like it? We got Bob Lazar and Nick. I don't know if you know this, but Bob Lazar is a bit of an artist. A musical artist, and he is going to provide the musical interlude for our show. He's done a song, and he's kindly sent it over to me, and it's pretty cool. So
nice.
We'll have a butcher's at that.
Sweet, awesome.
Smoking vanilla gelato.
Oh. That sounds nice. I tell you what, I was in Sainsbury's earlier, and I still stopped smoking, and someone's actually smoking like it's like the banging ganja I've ever smelt, and I was just like standing next to the car going, hell yeah, that sounds amazing. But yeah, it's gelato, awesome, mate. Yeah. You're busy then, One True Saxon.
Okay, so let's just dive in. I'm crazy here, man. I'll have it sorted for next show.
That's all right, mate. That's all right. Don't worry about that. It's all good.
Right.
Oh, hold on, wrong one. What I'm gonna do, well, today let's just do a little introduction. I'm gonna bring it a short up. Basically, it's kind of today's show is all about Mars, and it's kind of mimicking what we've done a show on, like for instance, the moon structures, anomalies, and stuff like that. And what I find interesting is that there are some like similarities to the two, I would say, in terms of structures, the face on Mars, really interesting stuff. And now we've explored Mars to a certain degree. I know people think it's fake and gay, the photographs we've been seeing compared to the original photographs. Now, there's one thing I've noticed, I'm hidden. I don't think I'm actually going to bring it up, but I will state this now. The atmosphere on Mars, if you go back to the original photographs from, what was it called again? There was this probe that was going over the Mars in the 1970s. It's
Phobos.
Blue. Yeah, I think so. So the atmosphere on Mars is actually blue and not red.
It's not. sorry, mate.
In certain parts.
We understand what you're right that it's not red. It's not red. It's more of a rusty. Because of the atmosphere, we can tell what the color of Mars should be. And there is a guy on YouTube. I don't know if he's still going, and probably you guys might have heard of him. But what he does is he takes the NASA photos, he runs it through Photoshop to take out the shit that they have put in.
Oh,
so
really?
he gives you the true representation of Mars's atmosphere and the surface of Mars, because I forgot the name of his channel, but I don't know if you guys have ever stumbled across it, but that's what he does. All the pictures that they put out, he runs it through his program and takes out everything that NASA has put on to give it this.
What did they actually add into it? Sorry for interrupting you. Sorry, mate. What did they actually add into the photographs then?
Well, they just changed the colorization to give it that red look.
Right, gotcha. Yeah, this is the thing. It's like if you go back to the early, like 70s and 80s when they actually had the rover go around, like the probe around Mars, you can kind of see it's actually kind of blue to a certain degree, but it might be certain sections of Mars. Again, I'm not a scientist. Hey, Corbell's cat, nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you. But today, yes, we're going to talk about the structures. So here is Erich von Däniken's theories on Mars. And I think it's kind of obviously passed away. He could have passed away in January, which is kind of I haven't got his book, The Chariots of the Gods, but he put forward the theory that the fact that there was colonization on Mars, and whether or not there was, I mean, one wild conspiracy theory that was like a nuclear bomb or a nuclear war that was happening, and they actually immigrated from Mars to Earth. That's one theory. But today we're going to go through some structures and stuff like that. So I've got some magazines here. We're just going to go through just quickly, and we'll play some videos. So yeah, this is Erich von Däniken's theories on Mars.
To the Swiss author Erich von Däniken, Mars is the most critical intermediate stop and technological base in humanity's past. Däniken argues that the formations in the Cydonia region of Mars are not natural, but are part of an architectural plan. He suggests that the face sculpture there is a prototype built by the gods on Mars before they constructed the Sphinx on Earth. The face looking toward the sky is a welcome message to the creators arriving from above. He claims that the five-sided pyramids near the face carry the same mathematical constants as the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. Regarding the formations in Martian canyons that look like transparent tubes, Däniken asserts that these are not geological cracks. Instead, he argues they are vacuum tunnels made of glass or a transparent alloy that provided transportation between colonies when the Martian surface became uninhabitable. Däniken maintains that Mars was once green and lush like Earth, but its atmosphere was destroyed by nuclear weapons during the War of the Gods. He proposes that the colonies on Mars fled to Earth to escape extinction and initiated modern humans by altering the genetics of primitive beings here. In other words, we might actually be of Martian origin.
There we go. So that is Erich von Däniken's theories on Mars, and I think it wasn't Carl Sagan, mate. Carl Sagan did talk about Mars, but not the theory of there was actually colonization there that immigrated to the planet Earth. Paul ended up buying his book, Chariots of the Gods. I think he made a number of books that he brought out, but he was the one that brought out that theory. Okay. And what I want to do, just, you know me, my reading, okay, it's not super, but I think it's worth bringing up just a couple of magazines that I've got here about Mars and everything. So we're going to leave the face on Mars a little bit later, okay? But I want to just go through the structures, okay? So this publication right here is from, oh, that's terrible. I didn't take that photograph properly. UFO magazine from August of year 2001. All right. And it has this in here. Artificial structures on Mars. And here we can see the face that we're not really going to be talking about today, but we're going to be talking about this. Now, remember in that shot I just showed you right there, it talks about these tunnels, these glass tunnels. This is what he's talking about here. All right. So let's just start from here. So these black spots appear to be dune-like terrain, separated by sharp boundaries from the rest of the flat crater floor. Later images indicate that these spots glow larger as spring advances. I think I need glasses, mate. I think I do. Advances on Mars. Neither geological nor biological explanations easily explain all features seen here, but biological explanations are less something. Do you know what? I might need glasses, but yeah, here we have some very strange structures here. So above right here, so the spots are changing.
He's almost trying to say it's vegetation, isn't he?
Most likely, yeah, basically. I mean, they say the atmosphere on Mars, it's very, I won't say it's dense, it's very light, if you understand that aspect. But there was a theory that there was actually water on Mars. Did they actually confirm that, Hidden? Do you ever hear that they actually found water?
They found molecules for water.
Exactly,
but I always say this when they were searching for back when the what's the rover called?
Oh, I can't think of it. Is it Viking rover?
I think it's Curiosity. That's it. When they started off the Curiosity program, I personally thought this is really dumb, because they're going to the equator to search for water. Now all we have to do is look at our planet. Yeah. Now the equator is going to be hot. It's the hottest place. So if you're going to find any trace of water, you're not going to find it there. Why didn't they go to the poles? That's where you're going to find water.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. Okay, I understand that. Yeah.
It's as if they are self-sabotaging themselves. Now we had the Beagle 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember the Beagle? That was an independent research vessel. Oh, thank you, One True Saxon.
Towards Nick's glasses. Oh, bless you, man. Thank you, One True Saxon. Yeah. It's only till now. I was speaking to my mum earlier, and she was going, "Do you know what, Nick? I think you might need glasses." And I think you might be right, actually, on that one. But yeah, thank you for the kind donation, mate. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, Mark Jeffries, you're saying Viking was the lander, right? Gotcha. Okay. Hey, Moody, nice to see you, mate. Welcome on in. So yeah, and so above the picture right here, spot changing the season. In late winter, bright snow-like forest begins to dissolve into spots, first near the Perphisfree. As summer approaches, another spot area resembles a pool of standing liquid in which the spots are some sort of growth. So again, we're going back to the vegetation sort of side. And what did you say there, John Strokes? You said there is water on Mars, even evidence of flowing water. Yes, I have heard that. Absolutely, for sure. But what I find interesting, mate, is obviously the pyramids I thought that might have been like half a bollock in the penis, but anyway, we'll get into that. But yeah, look at this. It's kind of weird, isn't it? For to be, I guess it's probably better than mine, to be honest with you, on that one. So natural channels rarely end in T-shaped from obvious seasons. In the image on the right, the crater appears to have an extremely steep wall and a flat floor. The elongated shape is comparable with crater formations mechanism because of their explosives, rather than just look at the picture, for Christ's sake. Hey, Nathan from the Quantum Show. Nice to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, this here, very interesting structures, for sure. But is this is one theory that Erich von Däniken was talking about, that these glass tunnels that were used to transport God knows what entities that are on that planet. So let's have a little look here, what it's saying here. So ground
fissures
seems to expose the network of glassy and translucent underground tubes. The bright spot might be spectacular reflections of the sun, consistent with the glassy or plastic skin. The magnified view shows that the white lines are bands that appear to warp completely around the tubes. This is one artist's impression of it, as you can see, but this is the actual photograph. Look, check this out. It's weird though, isn't it? Could that be a sign of actual water though? This is it. Like, going back to what John Stokes was saying, flow of water, but it'll be going down, it'll have like a stream going down and not going crisscross like this, vertically. So yeah, this is what Erich von Däniken was actually talking about, these tube-like structures. Thoughts on that, Hidden?
I'll wait till the end with that one.
All right, mate. Yeah. Okay.
I know the scientific explanation, so we'll wait till the end.
Okay. All right, mate. All right. So it says here the tubes appear to be complex network of involve perpendicular
intersections.
Thank you very much, Hidden. And unlike lava tubes, as these tubes are anyway, no known type of lava flow formations could form perpendicular. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. So yeah, there we go. Fascinating. It is quite fascinating, Rebecca. Absolutely, for sure. Here's some other ones as well. I want to find those pyramids, mate. Because we've heard about the pyramids. When we get to the face of Mars, obviously there's pyramids next to that, and I'm pretty sure Y-Files will bring that up as well. But these kind of looks like trees, don't they? To a certain degree. So have a look at this one. So again, I'm just going to gloss over just really quickly, guys, on this one. All right. So I'm not going to take too much of your time, but in this magazine, it shows some quite detailed photographs, which don't really find on the internet. I did look through the internet, but nothing that's gone into like description like in these magazines. This is what makes us unique on this channel. So whilst these triangles might be shadows, the arrangement of so many near identical objects in the lines and along, oh my god, it's all a bit blurry there, isn't it? So basically
concentrical
of circles
arcs
of our attention. Is that right? Whatever. So yeah, we can see. Just look at the photographs, for Christ's sake. Okay. But yeah, it's definitely. I tell you what. Have you heard of the Shard? We talked about the Shard on the moon, isn't it? That big long tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like resembles that slightly. Yeah. So the images display are all the primary indicators of an artificial structure. So we can see it right there. Okay, another one right here. I'm sorry, guys, that the photographs, I should have taken a better photograph of it. Thank you, Moody. Thank you. Wide shadows, linear tracks of uniform depth with lengthy parallel rows of closely spaced dune-like ridges certainly cannot be water caverns. Carved? Sorry. They are suggestive that the transparent The transport
of heavy machinery. There we go.
Thank you, Hidden.
It couldn't be like an asteroid hit that.
No, I understand that. Yeah, for sure. Okay, just quickly moving on here. So it's saying here, shapes of high. I don't really want to read anymore.
You want me to read it? Shapes
yes,
of high linearity, angulatory, and symmetry. Bollocks. Are in general association with artificial structures and are uncommon in nature. Even the dark shadows has block-like steps. I think that's a bit of a reach, but yeah.
yeah, for sure, yeah. What is Moody saying here? Concentric. Thank you, Moody. Thank you very much. Let's just quickly move on for this one here. Another example shows, again, both broad and closely spaced features besides unusual trackside formations looking more biological than geological. I guess.
Hey, Monkey.
So. Hey, Monkey. Silly do. Nice to see you, mate. Welcome on in. Mars generally has no evidence of towns, roads, or dwellings. Sorry, mate. Except perhaps in a few localized areas, such as this one. The thickness connecting lines seems to join the thickness concentration of small surface objects. It's kind of hard to work out what this actually is, isn't it? Unless you had the color photographs. But remember, this is 2001, so it's not exactly.
These would be satellite shots, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. Possible trees. There we go. Let's check this out. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Here are some rough detail to detect what appears to be branches and limb structures unfolding from a center, I should say. As for large plants with a trunk, this resembles no known type of geological features on Earth or any other planet or moon yet explored. Again, it's taken from above. Get some coffee, Nick. I got my tea here, mate. It's got a bit of caffeine in it. I think that would too. But yeah, there we go. So these magazines were quite detailed for the time of 2001, guys. You know, when you look at it. And we have this one right here. This is the final page, guys. So yeah, that right. I was thinking Pareidolia hidden. American bandstand again. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you. What do you reckon on this one, mate? It looks like a face, not the face of Mars, not the one we're going to be looking at.
It does look like a face,
doesn't it? Yeah.
But then they done the Scott C. Waring and colored it in. So and like this one and this one over here that looks like an Egyptian person.
Yeah, right.
That's colored in.
yeah. How would you make that out of that? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like borderline Pareidolia at this point. Do you know what I mean, mate? You know what I mean? So it says here, one needs to study this image with an excellent monitor and good imaging software to see that the amazing degree of detail present. For example, even features as small as the eyelashes over the eye, visible to the artist's inset, come from the actual Mars image and involve no artistic license. Again, what's that? Nosferatu? Is that right?
Yeah,
something like that.
Nefertiti.
So again, we're sort of harkening back to Egyptian times, isn't it? When you're looking about that. But I think it's more or less borderline Pareidolia. But this one right here, let's have a look what it says here. Whilst not near the hidden
Sedona area.
Sedona area.
That's where the original face of Mars, the one that we all know of, was in the Sedona area. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Completely different word. So it says the face here portrayal again is striking for the richness of the detail, far better than the typical face arising in the clouds or geological formation on Earth. The latter tends to be distorted, and the geocentric, yes, got it right, I got that right one, Moody. Thank you. When they are more than simply impressionistic. I think I read that right, but again, it's kind of border. It looks like a face. You know,
it does
you know
look
what
like
I mean?
a face,
It does look like a face.
But then you could argue the psychological aspect where our brains are honed in to see faces. So if you look at a curtain with patterns, you'll see a face. So
yeah.
It doesn't, in my opinion, it does look like a face. I mean, color it in makes you turn around and say, nah, but it does look like, even like looking at the Nefertiti one, I can see something there. I would love to see the real image.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what Scott did to the bottom one though. I love Scott.
How do you make out boobs on that one? Sorry, but how do you make that out of that? Do you know what I mean?
How do you make anything out of it? I don't even see eyes. I don't even see eyes. It's like some kid drew that, you know, bored, got it and said, here, I'm going to draw this. And then it made it into the magazine.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move on because we want to play some videos. But yeah, as you can see, guys, there are some complex structures on Mars. I'm not going to read, or Hidden's going to read any more on this, as this is the last page. But yeah, very, very interesting structures. But that one's quite striking, I have to admit. Very, very good. But you could say borderline pareidolia. But
yeah, holistic.
Nevertheless,
holistic. It was bring your kid to work day that day, and that was one of the NASA's staff kid drew that picture, and they said, you know what? Let's put it in the magazine, man. Let's do that.
Oh, it's hilarious. Brilliant. You got your hand as well, and a bit of a boobs there. So there we go. Yeah. So there we go. It's done.
Yeah. So I just don't know. I would look. You'd have to have a look at the originals to see.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, that one there, the lady's face is pretty clear.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
And even you can make out on the other side. I can see what he's seeing.
Yeah.
I can kind of see the head. The body's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, for sure.
But I can see the head. I can see the nose, and I can see an eye. I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know.
Yeah. But there we go, guys. That is UFO magazine from this one right here, 2001. Beautiful. There we go. So yeah. Hidden. All yours, mate. What do you want to do? Do you want to play some videos? What are you thinking?
Well, seeing that. Well, if I'm going to play videos, what should we look at? Should we look at anomalies first, or should we just dive into?
Yeah, well, because we're carrying on with anomalies and all that. Why don't we?
Okay, well, then I have got something for She-Pop, because she shouted out of the channel, and lo and behold, as if I heard your call, we got something. So hold on, let me put our shield on.
Hidden. I got. Oh, there's a bear's face on Mars. Believe it or not, I'll bring it up in a minute later on. Nevertheless,
let me see.
Hell.
Okay. Okay. So we've got several different clips of videos. Hold on, I gotta go back. Where am I? We got several clips of videos.
So yeah, I mean, if you go back to like the magazines, it's quite interesting. But the first photograph, well, the one with the face and like the face with the body and all that, is kind of borderline pareidolia. So if you don't know what pareidolia is, it's like, for instance, you see a face in the cloud. Your brain is sort of tricking your mind to say, oh, it's actual objects, basically. So yeah, what have we got here, mate? Let's have a look.
Well, this one here is just a little short, but when they were talking, now I find these things interesting because they're trying to, this is what they're saying this is.
Okay.
And it looks like walls from an ancient civilization.
Yeah, it does look like it, doesn't it? Yeah.
So where do I press play? Oh, there we go.
It does look like structured walls, isn't it? No. Yeah, bring it up bigger, mate. Yeah, there we go. Brilliant. So
it's just short, but I thought it was because some of the compilations they're not that good. But here, let's play it. I don't know why he put the arrows there.
Makes a smiley face.
Let's take out the sound. Let it roll in the background because I don't know why he put the sound of Mars if that is the sound of Mars. But yeah, I mean, it looks like a long ass wall.
It just, isn't it? Yeah. Going back to the conspiracy behind the colonization of Mars, you're talking about millions of years. I think this predates, the civilization on Earth, so to speak. So a lot. I mean, so if we say that is a wall there, a lot of degradation for the time, for sure. But it does look like a wall, doesn't it? Yeah, for sure.
And I buy into the civilization on Mars, and I also buy into because the earlier texts spoke of there were nuclear wars or two nuclear blasts.
Yeah. That's heard about that. Yeah.
Well, in the ground samples that Curiosity took, they found radiation that's only found through a nuclear blast that we have on Earth.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
In 2 spots on Mars. So
yeah.
So it comes back into full circle.
Because apparently the atomic bomb that was actually when it was doing testing in the 1940s and 50s in America, they noticed like these glass formations, and that's to do with the chemical reaction of the blast itself. I think they kind of linked this to Mars as well. The same compound. The only way you can get this
is from a nuclear test.
Material is through a nuclear test.
Well,
basically.
It lays in the ground because you can get glass from a high heat source. This is why when I was a kid, that was one of the things that the investigators, because I loved UFOs when I was young. And when I was a young pup, and I'm going way back when, I knew that was one of the things the UFO investigators used to look for was glass, because they would say the heat from the object it was that hot that it would turn the sand to glass or the soil to glass.
Yeah. Like Nathan's saying here. Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
But what do you guys think?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this image that you're looking at? Do you guys think this could be walls or a natural structure, natural phenomena? I mean, to me, it does look like walls.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, for sure. For sure. Hello, Benjamin Man of Music. Nice to see you, brother. Nice to see you. And hello, Dan Peters as well. Hope you're both doing well. But yeah, that definitely looks like some sort of structure, mate. Absolutely.
Okay, let's grab another one. I got it.
Yeah, nice to see you, Dan. Welcome on in. The one thing I find interesting, obviously we get to the face on Mars because everyone knows about that, but is the pyramids next to it is the same structured line as the pyramids of Giza.
Well, since you mentioned that, let's go. I've got the best video I could find was coming from Paranormal Crucible. Now he used to be a good channel back in the days. I don't think he's still running. I don't know. Right. But he was
Gobstopper, nice to see you.
He was one of the channels that did inspire me because I can't say that I'm a viewer now because I don't watch videos to enjoy them. I watch them to say, can I put them out on my channel?
Yeah.
So we'll put it here. Again, Paranormal Crucible. You were a good channel. But Paranormal Crucible, I'm gonna give you a warning. He uses the robotic voice that we all love. So here, let's press play and we'll have a look at these pyramids.
Yeah, let's go for it.
One of the pyramids.
A remarkable artifact has been found on the Red Planet by the Mars Curiosity rover. The artifact which has a near-perfect pyramid design, can easily be seen on the Martian surface. Due to the size of the object, about the scale of a small car, I would theorize that the artifact is either the capstone of a much larger pyramid,
nice to see you.
possibly buried deep beneath the surface, or perhaps a marker stone. Marker stones have been used throughout the centuries by many cultures here on Earth. Typically, these pyramid-shaped stones are used to guide travelers in desert regions. May actually be is open to debate.
Let's pause
but
it here then.
To the size of the object.
For sure. The thing is, that's not straight. That's actually on a hill. Go back a little bit, Hidden. Yeah, this is it. It's kind of a bit odd.
And when you look at the original imagery,
yeah,
it's actually small.
So look. Oh yeah.
See it there? It's actually small. So it's kind of like the image itself, in my opinion, debunks it, because it's perfectly smooth. It's what we could be looking at just to save the image in the theory of the pyramid. It could be buried, and we could be looking at the top part of it.
Yeah, because believe it or not, the actual Sphinx itself in Egypt was actually buried in sand. It's only until they actually removed the sand, they actually saw, the pores and everything like that. So yeah, I guess so, mate. After
it could be after so many millions of years of wind and rubble and the aliens, it could be buried.
Yeah, because apparently Mars is very desert terrain, sort of very dry atmosphere. So there's a lot of sands being blasted. So yeah, I guess so, mate. You just seen the tip of it, but it's kind of on the tilt a little bit, isn't it? But nevertheless, interesting. Yeah.
So, but it is small when you look at it there in comparisons with all the other rocks. It isn't what we were being sold at first, because I remember being sold it was a massive pyramid. But then I looked at because I remember this one, and I did look at it, and it is small. It's a small thing, but nevertheless it still is interesting because of the smoothness of the sides. This you don't get. Because if it was, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I do like this one.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's pretty good, mate.
Let's have a look at what else we got. I do have a compilation, but the compilation is hit and miss, because I was watching it and a couple of them I laughed at.
Yeah. Oh, so I'm just looking at the stuff on Mars. Oh, brilliant. Oh, some of them are hilarious. Oh dear.
This one I found interesting. Now, in my opinion, this looks like a fossilized tree.
Mate, bring it up bigger, just to expand a little bit. Let's have a look.
It'll zoom in.
Well, petrified sort of wood. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, fossilized.
Yeah. Have a look.
See right there.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'll let it. We'll play it again and we'll stop it. I hate how they put the sound on there. Just play some music or something. There we go.
I'm going to be honest with you. It kind of looks like the same structures as, like, I suppose, rocks in the background or the terrain. But
it may look like the same, but it's different, isn't it? It's jetting up. It's jetting up. Where the others, you can see the other rocks in the distance, and they're all flat.
Because if we assume that is, for instance, like fossilized wood, the degradation over time, if we get gathering over millions of years. I mean, if you look at like a tree when it's dying anyway, it'll become all rotted, and it'll kind of look like that. It's not going to be like a standard shaped trunk.
But then it turns solid. It becomes solid. That's
Yeah.
what a fossilized tree is. It's solid, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting, mate.
And I knew about these, but I'm glad I found this one, because I did want to say about the fossilized trees that if you have that, all we can do is have conjecture until we get what they call boots on the ground out there, you know, or the rover takes a sample.
Yeah.
You know, one or the other. But in my opinion, it looks like a tree.
Do you know what? I'm just playing thick here. So obviously now we've got the technology, obviously, to go to Mars with the rover and everything. But when they take samples, are they actually getting direct feed from the samples, or is they have to bring the items back?
No, they're getting direct feed from the rover.
Gotcha. Right. Yeah, I would have thought so now, innit? Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Because the rover, I believe, if my memory is right, and I know you guys might know in the chat, or you should know, but I believe the rover shouldn't be working. I think it surprised NASA, if I remember rightly. It just started working on its own. Because haven't they even got a helicopter out there on Mars?
Yeah. Was that a conspiracy, or was that just like a piss take?
Nah, they've got it. They've got it. You just don't see nothing.
Yeah, you don't you?
I've only ever seen one video or one footage that they had that they said rover took it. I mean, we'll get into at the end of a lot of stuff, because there is one thing that bugs me about Mars, and we'll get there. We'll get there at the end of this, right? So, all right. What do you think? What do you think, Nick? Fossilized tree, rock formation? No way is it a tower. I'm not going with that one. But if you want to say that, Rebecca, it's a different kind of rock formation. If it is a rock, it's a different kind of rock formation than the rest of them.
Yeah. Compared to the background, yeah, for sure. I'm not too sure on that, to be honest. I mean, I've seen rotten tree trunks, obviously being a gardener by trade for 15 years now. And I know where a tree trunk has been degraded for a few decades will look like that. It's not going to be straight. It's going to be bits and pieces falling off it. So it's going to look like that. So, mate, I'm kind of 50-50 on that one, mate.
See, my conspiracy head would always sit there and say, yeah, it's a fossilized tree. I think it is. I think it is. But okay, let's move on. Let's see what else I got.
So I'm distracted. Oh dear. No, that's good stuff though, mate. Good stuff. Yeah. What else you got?
Now, do you guys remember the doorway?
Vaguely remember, mate. Vaguely. So look.
I don't think I can make this. There we go.
Yeah, put up bigger, mate. So look.
There you go. There's no sound to it. We'll pause it there.
Ooh,
because for some reason this guy thinks there's something else in the image. There we go. That's a nice shot of it.
Nathan? Yeah, sorry, Karen. Sorry, mate.
That's the famous doorway to Mars.
Ooh, that's interesting. It looks like it was built as a doorway, isn't it? I mean, if you look how the entrance is, like especially
how smooth it is.
Cut. Yeah, smooth it has been cut, isn't it?
Now, their explanation for this is they're trying to say, first of all, I've got to tell you right away. What we're looking at isn't big. It's about that big.
Is it?
Yeah, it's about that big. Right? The devil is in the detail. You have to look at the whole picture.
Yeah. Go back a bit. I just want to see. Just to answer your question, Nathan. No, I haven't found any coins gardening, but I have found like old bottles from the 18th century. But yeah,
there you go.
One day.
You see right there?
Oh yeah.
That's your doorway.
So this is an original photograph from.
This is the original photo. Yeah, this is the original photograph that it took. So it's about that big. It's not a massive like 6-foot doorway. I think they said it's about 3 feet. So me going like that is a bit wrong as well. But here, and see, but when you zoom in, it looks massive, doesn't it? Now, let's have a look at what he's trying to, because he says there's something else here.
Okay.
But I can't see what he's looking at.
Oh, that there sticking out.
Yeah, but when you look at that, excuse me. See, I'm looking at that. Yeah, let's stop here. And I think he's trying to say, well, it's a different color or something, because to me that just looks like a rock. And then when you look around the surrounding areas, you kind of get this coloration over here as well. So I think that's some sort of sunlight.
Possibly, yeah.
Light refraction. But it's still good that people are looking around for it. Looking around for stuff. Because...
But you would have thought that NASA would airbrush that out. Do you know what I mean? Like they do that with the moon structures, structures on the moon.
Well, you see, some of the stuff would see. NASA's probably more interested with the moon, hiding the moon, because that's so close to us than Mars. Because
I mean, there's more wild conspiracy theories towards theories behind what's actually on Mars. So, oh, you found a coin, mate. In Germany. Oh, that's awesome, mate. Yeah. Hold on to that, because that's it'd be worth something one day, for sure. But yeah, I'm not too sure now, mate. I'm not too sure. Well, but it's good that people are looking.
What they reckon there is that all this top layer is sand.
Okay.
And the science that what they said was that this top layer fell off and created this doorway. But it doesn't make no sense. That don't make no sense. Just I'm not the smartest cat in the book, and I'm gonna say that. But again, like you pointed out, look how smooth that is. Wouldn't there be cracks or crumbling?
Yeah.
That looks really smooth.
I mean, to be honest with you, if you look at, like, for instance, ancient Egypt and their tunnel effect, everything's like really smooth. So whether or not the technology that was used, I'm just putting this theory out there, used for this, and then they came over to our planet and used probably the same technology. But again, it's just a theory here. But it looks very smooth for sure. Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah. How you doing?
How's it going, mate? I'm not going to say your original word, but I know who you are. Hope you're doing well. And DB Cooper, nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you. Welcome on in.
I'll move on from that. And let's see what else. I've got a compilation that we can have a giggle at.
Yeah, let's go for it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm well distracted at the moment. Sorry, but yeah.
Mission to the Red Planet. No amount of speculation could adequately prepare us for the unexpected discovery of.
The directive I'm signing today will refocus America's space program on human exploration and discovery. It marks an important step in returning America.
I might as well keep it here.
To the moon.
I mean, what the hell is that?
It's like a big bone, isn't it? Like a leg bone or something.
See, there's a better one of the. You're right, though. I never noticed that right there. That's the joint bone in it.
Yeah.
For the first time since 1972, for long-term exploration.
That one?
Yeah. This time,
let's keep going.
Not only plant our flag and leave our footprint, we will establish a foundation for an eventual mission to Mars, and perhaps someday to
more bones.
More bones.
Yeah.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, just yeah. Colored photographs, which is pretty good. So yeah.
Many worlds beyond. This
more bones. That looks kind of like a skull, don't it?
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Directive will ensure America's space program once again leads and inspires.
I don't know what we're looking at here.
The pioneer spirit has always defined America.
More petrified wood.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That does look like wood, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it does, man.
Yeah,
And we're picking that up in many other fields. I think you see that. I think it's obvious. All you have to do is look at what's happening with the markets and
I guess this is the camera
that are happening. We're leading in many different fields again, and it'll get more and more obvious as you go along. This is a giant step toward that inspiring future and toward reclaiming America's proud destiny in space. And space has so much to do with so many
Rover
other
trucks,
applications, including a military application.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, it looks like a sort of face, isn't it? One of those big elongated structures.
Yeah, that's that famous statue. Have you ever seen this one before?
Yeah. Do you know what? Going back to that magazine, it looked like that. Remember that sort of long-headed
Nefertiti.
Yeah, Nefertiti. Yeah. That's pretty good, isn't it?
That is a good one. That is a good one. I've seen that one before.
Yeah.
So we are the leader, and we're going to stay the leader, and we're going to increase it manyfold.
Some sort of vegetation, could it be?
Possibly. It's a bit pixelated, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what happens when you try and zoom in. Yeah. He's trying everything to get it good. I guess that there.
We also sent this robot, this $2.5 billion robot, to Mars to answer a single question. That was
the round ball
Mars ever suitable, hospitable
See, that one's interesting. See it there?
You see a lot of that in Egypt. That, like holes dug out of that bedrocks and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. When you start looking at these holes now, you realize, well, that's not a natural formation. Something had to have done that.
Nothing artificial, can't think of.
And yesterday, NASA got up in Washington, D.C. and announced that the answer to that question
is the spoon.
Yes. And that's a big answer.
Another floating spoon.
Well, it's not floating. It's the shadow.
The shadow of it, yeah.
See it there? But that's interesting as well. The spoon. That's a weird shape for nature to be forming.
Yeah.
It shows it was wet for 1.5 billion years.
Ain't got a clue what the hell that is.
Than the period of time needed for life to develop on Earth. And now we see that Mars must have been wet for a period even longer.
I don't see nothing there but rocks.
Charles Bolden, for whom inhabiting another planet is the key to the survival of the human race.
Mars is very Earth-like, or at least used to be very Earth-like. It is a planet, sister planet to Earth.
It looks like an egg.
It is the most likely planet in our solar system that had life at one time, may have life now, and we feel definitely can sustain.
I don't know what the hell that is.
So
blurred out.
Shows it. It's definitely one about survival of the species.
Huh.
That's a weird little thing.
At the end of this century, we're going to put a man on Mars.
Look at that.
A journey to another planet. A manned mission to Mars.
Hello, Sophia. Nice to see you. Welcome on in.
American astronauts to Mars.
The next historically interesting.
They're just zooming in on rocks, aren't they?
In the atmosphere of Mars, one of the major sources of methane.
Looks like some blast zone there, isn't it?
Volcanoes.
Looks that way.
But there appear to be no active.
The color looks vibrant, though.
On Mars. The other thing that's strange about the methane is that it's seasonal. If there are methane generating
there's the tunnels in it.
Soil of Mars,
there.
Then you could easily explain the amount of methane in the atmosphere, and also its variation over spring versus summer versus winter, because organisms are more active when the temperature warms up a bit.
Sorry.
Conditions necessary.
Trying to say that's the Sphinx.
Today. And we believe
there you go. There's your Sphinx.
The shallow subsurface and even the surface of Mars polar region for a few hours per day.
Another pyramid. More blurry pictures. The tank. I remember this one. That's what they called it, the tank on Mars.
All right.
But saying that, we laugh. But I'm
ocean remains on the planet today. Now
saying that though, there's a helmet in one of there.
Of this ocean has been
Really? Have you ever seen the helmet on Mars?
No, I haven't, mate. No.
Wait till you see this one.
with a significant portion of its surface
It should
covered
come
by
up.
water.
These
So the really
are
interesting
just
question
slabs
is,
of rock.
Could it form a sea
But
or an ocean?
one could argue that these slabs could have belonged to a building.
I guess so.
The SAM discoveries have really shown us that all of the basic ingredients for life were there, including complex organic compounds, the building blocks of life. Now, with the detection of organics in Gale Crater, the probability that Gale Crater Lake could have
More
supported
rocks.
life goes up.
More rocks that look like something.
It's very smooth, isn't it?
Well, the face of it, it could be weather.
For sure, yeah.
No scientist will ever say
Such a mad place, though.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
That looks like a wall.
Mm.
But then again, we don't know how big it is.
Detection of methane, that chances
That
are,
looks good.
I would say greater than 95% that Viking did indeed detect microbial.
Is that a statue head, would you say?
Kind of, I guess.
Looks like a face there. I don't know. Is Pareidolia kicking in on these rocks?
This is it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, some of these. I mean, this is it. Some of these rocks look, you know, artificially. Well, I'll say artificially structured, isn't it? You know,
Part of a structure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. Don't that look like our world?
It does, isn't it? Crazy. I'll bring a cat in a minute.
Another piece of rock. See, to me, that looks like a lava flow. More rocks, more rocks. Scott C. Warren would have had a field day here. Place of worship. The circular structures. Is that the famous bowl? Almost looks like a skull.
Where's this helmet you're talking about?
That'll be coming up. More rocks. This guy likes his rocks, man.
It is, isn't he?
That's an interesting thing. There's your helmet.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, yeah.
Like an old World War II helmet.
It does, isn't it? Yeah. Hmm.
That one's interesting. So that does look like a helmet. Well, I know they're trying to say that's some sort of statue.
Yeah.
I've seen that one before. The destroyed pyramid. The lady. Oh, is that the Bigfoot? Let me see. That's not the lady on Mars. Yeah. But it looks like, because see, it looks like that could be distortion, but that could also be dust. And if that's dust, that means that thing's moving. What do you reckon to that?
I'm not sure, mate. It looks like a woman doing that, isn't it? I don't know. Huh. That's interesting. Fossilized Bigfoot.
The claw. The claw. Which is kind of interesting that they have the claw there, because there was always the fossilized toad.
There we go. That's a petrified tree.
That's a better picture, man. That's actually,
yeah.
It looks like some bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, bones. Bit of dust up there for you.
Hmm.
And we got to end it off with our favorite face.
Oh, there we go.
What?
That's that face we're looking at. Yeah. Another one.
Yeah, it does look like a face, don't it? Nose, there's your lips here.
Yeah. I think
there's
a smiley face. There we go. I think what we're witnessing here, guys, this is my personal opinion. I think we're dealing with pareidolia at this point, but it's pretty good though, isn't it? It's pretty good.
I think a lot of it is pareidolia, but like when you look at something like, say, the helmet.
Yeah, for sure.
Or even that one rock that I said was it looked like a face, and then you said like the one that they drew.
Yeah.
I mean, there's distinctive marks there, like where eyes are and stuff.
Yeah. I think a lot of stuff like we're saying here, a lot of it could be to do with pareidolia, but there are so many structures. I mean, especially the rocks, they're just a bit too coincidental, that the fact, very smooth cut. But going back to the conspiracy theory behind it, guys, that if we're going by the fact that there was a civilization there millions of years ago, this predates human civilization, is going to be degraded over time. You know, things are going to fall apart, obviously to do with the terrain, the temperature, the atmosphere, etc., etc. I think we need to put that in consideration. It's a fascinating theory. I mean, especially it looks like bones were on there, mate. You know, so it's definitely worth taking that in consideration. But immensely fascinating. And honestly, I remember looking into Mars back in the early 2000s, but now we have these high definition photographs. And I'm going to be honest with you, I am so surprised that it's actually on the internet, that NASA would allow that imagery. Because like we go back to the moon, a lot of stuff has been airbrushed out.
Yeah, but NASA doesn't care about Mars, really.
I think, yeah, the
moon is their problem. The moon is their problem. There's a lot of stuff about the moon that could be talked about. There's a lot of stuff about the moon. That's why NASA's kind of funny.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hello, Linda Birdie. Nice to see you. Welcome on in. Yeah, fascinating stuff, mate. That was a good video. Fair play to you, mate. That was a really good one. I enjoyed that. Really enjoyed that. Yeah. Fascinating.
Right.
Do you want to bring up? I know people are a bit funny with Y-files, but you said
funny with Y-files. I don't know why you say that.
No. Some people are just a bit funny because it's got the fish, you know, that you know. But I think he breaks things down in a proper perspective, so to speak. But yeah, if you've got more videos to play, other stuff, yeah, go for it. So look, it's that spoon again, isn't it? Ah.
So when you see this whole picture, you can see how small that spoon is.
Let's have a look.
I think they reckon it's about 2 inches.
Let's have a look. Where is it to? Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. I guess so.
These gay videos. Spatula. Or is it a spatula? Yeah, we'll stop it there just in case he rings the doorbell again. Yeah, they reckon that spoon's about 2 inches.
Okay,
that's still interesting because look at the whole design. It's with something natural. Can nature make something like that?
I don't think so, mate. I don't think so. We've never seen anything like that on Earth that resembles a spoon that's made out of, you know, a natural reoccurrence. But no, it's pretty good, isn't it? Interesting stuff, mate. These are really detailed photographs, aren't they? Like proper 4K photographs.
Well, you can just You can go on the NASA site; they're all there.
Yeah, for sure. But are we supposed to believe what they put out, though?
Well, that's the question, and I always say this to people: how come you will believe certain things that NASA does, which you have to do? So you have to, because I will go back, like I said, there's something about Mars that always bugs me. There's one thing about Mars that bugs me, and we will get into that at the end.
Okay.
But you know, it's not. At the end of the day, NASA is the only source for Mars. I'm not saying anything else, so let's clear that up. NASA is the only source for Mars. Okay. Because I know people are going to come at me and say, no, we've got the European space agencies, we've got the Chinese, which in fact the Chinese are planning a trip to Mars pretty soon. They're planning to go to Mars, and also they're going to try and go to Phobos, which is going to be pretty interesting. Let's see if they get shot down too. So yeah. So that's something to look forward to, because China's really like ramping up their space exploration, their agencies. I mean, they've already sent stuff to the moon, and now their sights are on not only Mars but Phobos.
Okay.
So again,
well,
that's
you
going to
could
be interesting.
you could go by Vladimir Tynczynski. Now, I know One True Saxon will know about this. There was a documentary that came out on ITV or BBC called Alternative 3, and they had this video footage, leaked footage of a joint space exploration it was with America and Russia, that shows a joint landing on Mars. Could you remember that, Eden?
Nope.
Maybe we can bring it up near the end of the show, just for like a bit of giggle, you know. But yeah, that is alleged, I should say, you know, actual footage of a landing on Mars, humans, I should say. So yeah, interesting stuff, mate.
Yeah, that sounds like it's real. Right then and there, they landed humans on Mars. That's nearly up there. That's nearly up there with what Alex Jones was trying to push when he said they're kidnapping kids from Earth, he's sending them to Mars, and they're working over there as slaves. Yeah.
Oh God. Oh dear.
Right. So I think this is one of the last ones, and I don't know if you ever heard about the crab on Mars. This is a pretty famous.
The crab on Mars. No.
Yeah, it looked like, to me, right? I don't know why they called it the crab on Mars, because the thing is, it looked like a sundial.
Okay.
It looked like an ornamented. Oh, it looked like a sundial to me. It never looked. It never looked like the crab. But this is what they called it, the crab on Mars. So here, let's check this out. This is a news report. Where am I? Jesus.
I would agree with you, Linda Birdie. Yeah, absolutely. I think millions of years ago.
Rover has taken a strange image of a crab-like object on the red planet. Now, the picture is captivating the minds of space enthusiasts all over the world. Amid the social media buzz that followed the release of the pictures by NASA, some claim to find is proof of alien life. Sadly, however, scientists have been quick to offer a logical explanation. They attribute it to the same phenomenon that causes people to see shapes in the clouds.
That's how they dropped it. It wasn't a good shot. Let's see if we can get it back on there. It wasn't a good shot, and you have to be careful. As you can tell, I've been watching too many of them.
Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Like object on the red.
It's not really a good picture, and the rest of them are. But to me, it looked more like a sundial. But if they want to call it a crab, they can. But it's still interesting because, like, look at the detail to it. Again, could that be naturally made? Doubt it. It looks like there's some sort of detail in it.
It does, doesn't it? Some sort of drawing. Yeah, yeah.
Do you think, Nick, I'm going to ask you to do something? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Exactly. Sundial. That's what I think it is.
Yeah, yeah. I would say kind of like that.
I don't know why the hell they called it the crab on Mars. Maybe this is what sometimes they do. I was going to ask you, could you look for this photo? Type in the crab on Mars, and it might come up, and then let's see if we can get a better look at this, because I do think this is interesting when we're talking about either ancient civilizations on Mars, or is there a possible civilization? Because that's another theory. I don't know if you know about this, that there is life on Mars, but it's underground.
So
they've learned to live underground to shield themselves from the heat and the yada yada, and there's water under there and everything.
Okay, let's have a look. Let's get a photograph of this. There's an AI picture of a crab on Mars. That's not helping. I tell you what. Hold on.
I think they called it this. I think they called it this to discredit it. That's what I think they done.
Okay, right. Check this out, brother. I got it right here for you.
You guys want to see a better. You guys want to see a better image of it than this. It's a nice news report, and I did scan to see if I could find something, and it's the only one.
It's there for you. Go bring that up.
I'm pressing it. Oh, I got it. Oh, I got to remove this first.
There we go. There we go. Check this out. This is the clearest one I could find, mate.
Yeah, without it being AI'd.
Yeah,
I had that problem when I was looking for it. It brought me a couple of AI, but look at it there. I mean, that doesn't look like a natural structure. That doesn't look like something. That looks like that has been made.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Looks like some sort of drawing for sure.
That's the whole. See, I would have loved the rover to stay at that spot, but because it can't, that's what's stay at that spot and take a series of pictures to see if it moved. And then we know it's a space, like an alien bug or a face hugger.
Yeah. Oh, I found a better photograph. Ready? Sorry, funny. There we go. There we go. Check that out. I'm not too sure. It looks like one of those prehistoric drawings from hundreds of thousands of years ago that people draw. You know, I think the mainstream archaeologists or historians would say, "Oh, these were just depictions of gods and all that." But if you really look, I think they're actually drawing what they're actually seeing. Obviously, there's like aliens and stuff like that, extraterrestrials. But yeah, hard to make out, mate. It's kind of hard to make out. Yeah, can't really find anything here, mate.
But that's it there when it's zoomed in. So like Moody said, but you know, it's when you look at the original photo, look how far away this was taken. Somebody was just scanning, because you do have people that just scan through all the images from Mars and they find things on there.
Yeah, yeah.
So thank you for your hard work, man.
Oh, don't worry. I'm producer, mate. That's what we do, mate.
No, I'm talking about the guy that scans all the pictures.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
You know, there used to be people that just sit there for 12 hours a day watching a live feed from the space station, just hoping they'll catch something. So it was, you know, it's insane some of the work that these cats do to find these things. So kudos, man. Kudos.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was going to say hello to Holistic Kate. Nice to see you. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. And welcome into the stream. So, yeah, no, I'll tell you what, mate, you've put out some really good videos on that in terms of like structures and strange anomalies. So, yeah, fantastic.
So on that note, then let's get the Y files.
Let's do it.
And I'm gonna say to you guys, if you got one rolled up, now's the time to, because we're gonna watch something from the Y files, and then I've got something else interesting to show you on Mars.
Awesome.
So this is the Y files.
One True Saxon, he's shooting off, mate. Have a good one, mate. And yeah, thanks for popping in. It's much appreciated, brother. And hope to see you soon, man. Have a good night.
I hope it ain't because of AJ. No, have a good night, man. I know you like AJ. So here we go.
Let's do it.
From an advanced civilization now long extinct? Is it a religious artifact? Is it solid like the Great Sphinx, or could it contain chambers like the Great Pyramid? Then NASA threw cold water on the speculation. They said there was a second photograph of the area taken shortly after, and that photo showed that the face was nothing more than an optical illusion. Small problem, that second photo doesn't exist. So why did NASA lie? Well, the answer to that question is in the other pictures. For centuries, we've been captivated by the mysteries of the red planet. The ancient Egyptians saw Mars as a god. The Greeks named it after their god of war. But it wasn't until the 19th century that we began to unravel some of its secrets. In 1877, Italian astronomer Giovanni Schiaparelli made detailed observations of Mars. He saw strange markings on the surface that he called canali.
Ooh, I love those. It's like an Italian sweet cheese taco.
That's cannoli.
Delicious.
Canali means channels in Italian, but the media thought it meant canals. And this led to speculation that the canals might have been built by an intelligent race of Martians. And as technology improved and with the space race in full swing, getting close-up photos of Mars became a priority. In 1965, the Mariner 4 probe flew past Mars and sent back 22 images. Even though the first pictures of Mars were exciting, they were also disappointing. There were no vast cities or canals or any evidence of an ancient culture. Mars looked like the moon, harsh, barren, pockmarked by meteors, completely lifeless. But as technology continued to improve, the idea of life on Mars became less far-fetched.
Right.
Mars is cold and barren now, but years ago that wasn't the case. Mars was once covered with vast oceans of water, rivers and lakes all over the planet. It had a thick atmosphere that kept the surface warm. Mars had volcanic activity and even a global magnetic field, just like Earth. It was a long time ago, but the red planet was, at one time, a blue planet with all the ingredients necessary to support life. In 1975, NASA sent 2 spacecraft to Mars, Viking 1 and Viking 2. These probes each contained an orbiter with a high-resolution camera and a lander. In the summer of 1976, Viking 1 and Viking 2 finally reached Mars. Both orbiters took thousands of photographs of the Martian surface. NASA scientist Toby Owen was one of the first researchers assigned to look for landing sites. And when Owen found the face on image 35-A72, he was beyond excited. NASA released the image to the press as a way to increase public interest and attract attention to Mars. This worked, but a little too well, because the face was the only thing the press wanted to talk about. It became such a big story that NASA had to release a follow-up statement about the face, saying it was just an optical illusion, and they took another photo to prove it.
Isn't it peculiar what tricks of light and shadow can do? When we took another picture a few hours later, it all went away. It was just a trick, just the way the light fell on it.
Except that second photo was never produced, and nobody thought to ask. Face or not, Cydonia was the top contender for the landing site of Viking 2. The terrain is flat, visibility was good, and there are interesting rock formations to explore. But a few days after the release of the face photo, Viking 2 landed in a barren, rocky region called Utopia Planitia. One scientist working on the mission complained that this was like landing in the Sahara Desert and expecting to find a garden. So why the last-minute change of the landing site? Is there something going on in Cydonia that NASA doesn't want us to see? Well, the answer is yes, lots of things. Monuments are not built in isolation. The pyramids found in Egypt or in Central or South America were not single structures. They were part of sprawling complexes of buildings, town squares, and temples. If an ancient culture living on Mars created a monument of a humanoid head, we'd expect to see other structures close by. And that's exactly what we see. There's a cluster of pyramids near the face that people call the city square. And near those is an object nicknamed the Fortress, which appears to be a collapsed pyramid. There's a formation called the D&M Pyramid, named for NASA imaging scientists Vince DiPietro and Greg Molinar. D&M is a massive 5-sided 1.5 mile tall structure. This is 3 times the size of the largest pyramid in Egypt. But what's really interesting about the D&M pyramid is that it's symmetrical around 2 different axes. Now, it's easy to dismiss these findings that it's nothing more than a coincidence that all these weird-looking structures and pyramids are within a few miles of the face. But then a professional satellite imaging specialist named Erich Torin started looking into it. He worked for the Defense Mapping Agency, and his job was literally to analyze satellite images and decide which objects were natural and which were artificial. He said that all the objects, including the face, were not of natural origin. But the D&M pyramid really blew his mind.
The geomorphic natural hypothesis is thus left with no mechanism that can explain the formation of the D&M pyramid. This object's 5-sided shape and bilateral symmetry is unlike any landform seen to date in this solar system.
Torin called this pyramid the Rosetta Stone of Mars. He found all kinds of mathematical relationships between objects in the area. And as more photos came back from Mars, we found more strange objects. A lot more. Over the past 50 years, thousands of images have come back from Mars. And if you look through those images, you'll find all sorts of things that look out of place. This is an extremely tall, almost perfectly rectangular monolith.
Whoa!
Here's another monolith. This one stands over 10 miles high. If this were on Earth, it would extend up through the clouds. The top is so high that even the largest airliners would fly below it. This object has been nicknamed the shipwreck because it looks like the remains of a boat. Is it an ancient craft or maybe the foundation of a structure? In May 2022, Curiosity rover found a doorway carved in the rock face. I wonder where it goes. Here are giant tracks on the surface. Giant. What kind of machine could make this? Now, this object doesn't look like a natural rock formation. This one is called the Martian totem pole. You can make the argument that erosion created most of the odd features on Mars, but this one is very strange. I don't see how erosion could do this. Curiosity took this picture in 2015. It looks like something is hanging onto the cliffs. Here's a dome or the top of a sphere. These structures were famously called glass worms by Arthur C. Clarke. Here's an object that's definitely not a rock formation. A series of still images shows an orb of light moving around the Martian landscape.
What the?
Skeptics say this is a dead pixel, but dead pixels don't move around the frame. Besides, whatever this is, it's larger than just a pixel. Here's one that blows my mind. This looks like the imprint of a valve or a gear. This was taken with the Opportunity's microscopic imager. Could this be the imprint left by the piece of an ancient machine? How could this mark be formed naturally? How about this? This was taken by the Mars Global Surveyor in the year 2000.
Whoa!
This saucer-shaped formation or structure really stands out from the surrounding landscape. And these are just a few of the anomalies found on Mars. There are many, many more. A few years after the release of the infamous face photo, DiPietro and Molinar decided to look for the original so they could analyze it themselves. Now, at first, they had trouble locating it. Turns out it was misfiled. Eventually, they found 35A72 labeled head in the Viking image files. And after reviewing the photo, DiPietro and Molinar felt that, despite what NASA claimed, there was more to the face than a trick of light and shadow. So they looked for the second image, the one that NASA said proves the face is just an illusion.
Oh, did they find it?
Well, it was misfiled, but they did find a second photo of the face. And this one has even more detail. Vince DiPietro and Greg Molinar felt that there was more to the face on Mars than an optical illusion. To prove or disprove the theory, they would need more photos. Even though there were other pictures taken of the face, they were surprised to find that they seemed to have disappeared.
Oh, they were surprised that NASA lost the pictures, huh? They must be new at this. Tell me again, what happened to NASA's recordings of the moon landing?
Oh yeah, they lost those too.
NASA sure does hire a lot of butterfingers.
That does seem to be the case.
It's a good thing the moon landing was fake. Otherwise, that would have been really embarrassing.
They also couldn't find the quote-unquote disconfirming photographs that Gerald Soffin mentioned 5 years earlier. But even though it was filed in the wrong place, they did find a second photo of the face on Mars. And this second image showed more detail and less shadow on the left side of the face. There appeared to be 2 eye sockets, a nose, and even a mouth. But the weirdest thing was that the structure had 2 parallel and even length sides. both hundreds of yards long and perfectly straight. And the top and bottom edges were both curved and had the same radius. It looked like a symmetrical framed platform for the face itself. According to geologists and imaging experts, the face's base, if that's what it is different than anything you'd likely see in nature. DiPietro did more analysis and found evidence of a pupil in the left eye socket. NASA scoffed at the new findings, so the two researchers sought some outside help. And this is where science journalist Richard Hoagland stepped into the picture. He organized an independent research group and began studying the images in greater detail. Computer imaging specialist Dr. Mark Carlotto was brought onto the team. His new image enhancement techniques showed what looked like teeth in the mouth and an odd stripe pattern on the frame areas. Excited by what they found, Hoagland arranged for a briefing on the results with Carl Sagan at NASA.
Carl Sagan, the millions and billions guy with the turtleneck sweaters?
Yep, that's him.
Have trillions, billions, billion, trillions, billion, 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 billions, million, billion, billion, trillion, billions, million, millions, billion, 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 billions, million, billions, billion, millions, million, million, million.
At the meeting, Carl Sagan acted impressed, but he attacked the face on Mars theory in the newspapers. Hoagland pressed NASA for more photos, but NASA said it was unnecessary. Mystery solved. But NASA didn't realize that Richard Hoagland had a platform. A big platform.
Oh, I know that song!
From the high desert and the great American Southwest, I bid you all good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be in whatever time zone, wherever you are in the world. This is Coast to Coast AM, and I'm Art Bell. Great to be here. Lots to do tonight.
Art Bell, host of Coast to Coast AM, reached millions of people, and Richard Hoagland was on the show all the time. With access to Art Bell's audience, Hoagland was able to generate letter writing and call-in campaigns to force NASA to take new pictures of the face and pyramids at Cydonia. Now, NASA didn't agree immediately, but the pressure was starting to mount because in just a few more months, NASA was going back to Mars. In 1993, NASA launched the Mars Observer, the first mission to Mars since the Viking days.
And liftoff of the Titan III rocket with the Mars Observer and America's return to the Red Planet.
And NASA wasn't even going to include a camera, but an uproar from the public forced NASA to include one. There was a lot of excitement about the Mars Observer because the new camera was good enough to finally end the debate about the face and the pyramids in Cydonia. At least that was the hope. The reality was somewhat different. Even after the launch, NASA maintained that they had no interest in photographing the face or Cydonia. The debate went back and forth until about 3 days before Mars Observer was inserted into Mars orbit.
The probe insertion.
Don't be an infant. That Sunday morning, before the maneuver
The maneuver to insert the probe.
Stop it. The Sunday before the Observer was placed into orbit, NASA sent out the Mars Observer lead project scientist, Dr. Bevan French, to debate Hoagland on Good Morning America. Now, to put it gently, it did not go well for Dr. French or NASA.
We now have a set of data so extraordinary that it demands, in the venue of any decent science, simply testing the hypothesis. The problem is that there are some folks in NASA in charge of the next mission going back, specifically that camera I referred to, who seem less than overwhelmingly inclined to perform the simple test. They will not guarantee, strange as it may seem, that taking new pictures is on the Mars Observer agenda.
By the end of the debate, even the host was asking NASA, why don't you just take the pictures and prove these guys wrong? Dr. French didn't have a good answer for that. But what happened next was even more suspicious. Less than 5 minutes after the debate aired, NASA made an announcement. The Mars Observer probe had disappeared. They'd lost all contact with it.
Wait, what?
So it didn't matter who won the debate. There would be no pictures of Mars.
They lost this thing too?
Yep.
NASA might want to invest in some air tags or something to help them keep track of all this stuff.
Good idea.
At the end of the day at NASA, I picture 400 scientists just wandering around a parking lot there, looking for where they left their cars.
And here's an interesting side note. Hoagland and others claim they were getting leaked information from NASA insiders. According to the leakers, the Mars Observer was still out there and running just fine. In fact, it was taking pictures of the face and all kinds of other weird objects on Mars. But even if NASA had those pictures, they couldn't show them publicly. especially if they showed the face was an artificial construction. NASA continued to claim that the face was nothing more than a pile of rocks. But since they couldn't take a photo to prove it, they did the next best thing. They created one.
Yep. The little box picture.
5 years after the Mars Observer fiasco, NASA launched a new probe called Mars Global Surveyor.
Hey,
3, 2, 1. We have ignition. And we have liftoff. This is Mars Global Surveyor as America begins its journey back to the red planet.
And even though there were newer, better cameras available, NASA insisted on using the old ones. And once again, NASA didn't want to take pictures of Cydonia or the face. But after public pressure, they finally agreed to take a few pictures. Then NASA finally made a big announcement. On April 5th, 1998, NASA finally released a highly detailed picture of the face on Mars.
What the is this?
What was released was a grainy, noise-filled image of the face in bad lighting, bad weather, and with multiple filters applied. That night on the Art Bell program, Hoagland and his team were upset. Bell said that from his perspective, the image looked like something my kitty would scratch up in her cat box. And from that moment forward, it would be forever known as the cat box image. But it looked like this image was deliberately manipulated by NASA. Lan Fleming, a NASA contractor, went back to the source data and tried to reproduce the cat box image. At first, he couldn't, but eventually, after applying 14 different Photoshop filters, he was able to do it. And he realized this could not be done by accident.
JPL removed most of the tonal variation in the original image that gives the observer the visual cues to the real three-dimensional shape of the object. They added false visual cues to give the object its rough, jumbled appearance, inadvertently falsifying the appearance of the surrounding terrain as well. The cat box is not a poor enhancement, as it is often called. It is a crude but very effective fraud perpetrated by employees or contractors to the United States government. Even if the face is proven to be completely natural, this is inexcusable misconduct and a gross abuse of power. If the face ultimately is proven to be artificial, the cat box will certainly come to be regarded as the greatest, most malicious, and most destructive scientific hoax of all time.
Indeed.
Ever since the first color images came back from Mars, they've always been suspicious. The colors were dominated by this weird orange haze. NASA said this is because of all the carbon dioxide and red dust in the atmosphere. Well, a carbon dioxide atmosphere would still be blue. Not a deep blue like on Earth, but a grayish blue. But the images from Mars show the sky as this weird reddish-green color. So what's going on? These photos make the surface of Mars look like a weird alien world, but it's not an accurate representation of color. Nothing is so uniformly one color like this. For some reason, before releasing images of Mars, they ran the images through an orange filter. Now, in the 1990s, nobody would really question this, but modern digital photography software like Photoshop can tell if a single color is applied to an image uniformly. This is a simple calculation for software. It's how white balancing is achieved in photography and video. It's such an easy calculation that current versions of Photoshop give you a one-click way to solve for false color. The function is called, well, autocolor. So look at this early, very blurry image of Mars. That looks like Mars. Well, the version of Mars that's been fed to us for years. But remember, Photoshop can correct for false color. If we autocolor this,
whoa!
Right. Now that's a very different image. Let's do a few more.
Whoa! Whoa!
NASA eventually learned that their orange filter technique was easily spotted. So recent pictures of Mars no longer have the weird orange tint. Now even NASA's pictures show a blue-gray sky and a lot of different colors in the landscape. But why would NASA not want us to know that Mars has blue skies? Some say it's to discourage people from wanting to visit Mars. The more alien it looks, the better. So Mars had oceans and a thick atmosphere and could have supported life. If intelligent life did evolve on Mars, and the face and other artifacts are not piles of rocks, but are actually ruins of a long-lost society, we have to ask, what happened to that ancient civilization? Well, the answer to that question could be the reason that the governments of the world have lied to us about Mars for so many years. Because there is evidence, scientific evidence, that millions of years ago, the planet Mars was devastated by a massive global nuclear war. Curiosity rover arrived on Mars in August 2012 and started analyzing samples from the surface. NASA scientists were expecting to find soil containing heavily oxidized iron, which they did. But what nobody expected to find was evidence of a massive nuclear war. Chemical analysis revealed that the top layer of Martian soil contains a large amount of xenon-129. There's only one known process that creates this particular isotope of xenon: the detonation of nuclear weapons. Now, over the course of 70 years, over 1,000 nuclear tests have been conducted on Earth. And every time a nuclear bomb is detonated, the explosion leaves behind small traces of xenon-129. The amount of xenon-129 in Martian soil is 2.5 times higher than Earth. Dr. John Brandenburg is a former NASA physicist and a well-known Mars researcher. He was the scientist who accompanied Richard Hoagland to NASA to present their findings about the face in Cydonia. Dr. Brandenburg believes that a humanoid civilization lived on Mars and died on Mars.
I have shown this to several nuclear weapons experts, and they have affirmed that this is nuclear weapon signature. There is no other process that can create such a xenon spectrum.
For so much xenon to be deposited on the surface, the nuclear weapon would have to be the size of the Empire State Building, with an energy equivalent to 1,000 megatons. For comparison, the bomb dropped on Hiroshima was 20 kilotons. So we're talking an explosion 50,000 times more powerful. And Dr. Brandenburg found 2 hotspots on Mars where radiation levels are higher than anywhere else. And right in between those hotspots is Cydonia, the location of the face, the pyramid, and the other structures. Dating the isotopes places the explosions somewhere between 150 and 300 million years ago. Mars was at one time a blue planet like Earth, covered in oceans and a thick atmosphere. But nobody knows for sure how Mars lost its atmosphere. A nuclear explosion of this size would answer that question. Now, this is a frightening theory, but it gets even more disturbing. If an intelligent race created the face and other structures on Mars, they wouldn't have been that technologically advanced. They were maybe an Iron Age civilization. Those people would not have the technology to create such a devastating nuclear weapon. This means the weapons were detonated by someone else.
Don't say aliens. Don't say aliens.
Aliens.
Oh, no.
At the time of this event on Mars, the most advanced creatures on Earth were reptiles. Dinosaurs hadn't even evolved yet. Maybe whoever destroyed Mars ignored us. Reptiles wouldn't pose much of a threat to them. But what if they return? Another theory is that intelligent life on Mars did reach an advanced level of technology, advanced enough to destroy themselves in a nuclear apocalypse. But before that catastrophic event, a small group of these humanoids escaped off-world. So who were those Martians that managed to escape annihilation? Well, they're us. For a show like this, the exploration of Mars is a gift that started giving in the 1960s and just keeps on giving. We've got ancient civilizations, government cover-ups, alien invasions, a nuclear apocalypse, and more conspiracies than I can count. But how much of all this is true? Well, I can't really debunk most of this episode because, well, Mars is another planet. It's not like we can go see for ourselves, at least not yet. The flow of information comes from a single source, the United States government.
Well, assume everything they say is a lie.
Well, that's a pessimistic point of view.
What can I tell you? I've been hurt before.
But let me give you some perspective. First, every single object on Mars that looks artificial could be attributed to pareidolia. That's a word you'll hear a lot from NASA. Pareidolia is the human tendency to find meaning in random stimuli, like the imperfections of a piece of wood that look like a polar bear, or a stadium that looks like a UFO.
Or a cloud shaped like a crab kid.
Right.
Feel the crab kid.
Seeing animals is common, but the most common thing we see? Faces.
Feces?
Faces.
What I say?
In fact, if you look at the wiki page for pareidolia, the picture of the face on Mars is the main example.
Propaganda.
What do you mean? Wikipedia isn't biased.
You're adorable.
But is the face on Mars an optical illusion, or is there something there? Well, plenty of scientists, NASA scientists, thought there was something there, though we don't hear much from them anymore. Most scientists think it's just an illusion. When NASA released their detailed picture of the face, which showed it as a pile of rocks, they thought they put the conspiracy to bed. The problem is, NASA does alter images. In fact, they alter every image they release to the public.
And now Chris Martinez is introducing us to two of the artists behind some of the most iconic space art in the galaxy.
NASA says this is to make the images easier to understand or to make them more visually appealing.
Even NASA uses filters on her Insta.
They do. Now, I don't like that NASA has artists on staff to Photoshop images, but I understand that some photos have to be adjusted to make them more digestible to the public. But there are some really weird NASA Photoshops. Here's the famous photo of the Earth taken from Apollo 17. And here's a 3D model of the Earth released by Google and the US Navy. The model is supposed to be mathematically perfect, but the land masses don't line up, like not even close. Here are examples of NASA copy-pasting clouds on a picture of the Earth.
Interesting.
The copy-paste technique has been used on Mars images too. These are from the Curiosity rover.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Now, maybe there are good reasons for faking these images, though I can't think of any. But if you fake one image, we can't trust any of them. So when you see this picture of Mars, people say this looks exactly like Devon Island, the uninhabited island in Canada where NASA trains crew members and tests its rovers.
NASA Public Relations, this is Jerry.
Hey, Jerry, I wanted to talk to you about this picture from Curiosity.
Uh-huh.
This looks like Devon Island, but with an orange filter on.
No, that's Mars.
Yeah, but
it's the red planet.
Yeah, no, I know it's called the Red Planet, but I'm pretty sure this picture of Devon Island got slipped in accidentally.
No, that's not Devon Island. That's Mars.
Okay, then why is this animal hiding behind the rocks?
That's not an animal. That's just a rock.
Okay, but that sure does look like an Arctic lemming.
What the hell is an Arctic lemming?
Well, an Arctic lemming is a type of small rodent that hides in the rocks all over Devon Island.
Now, I paused it there because you remember, Nick, I said I always have a problem with Mars.
Yeah.
And you remember I brought this up before.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? Yeah.
I called it a gopher.
The gopher, yeah.
Yeah. And this is my problem, and I'm glad AJ touched on this, because what is that picture doing there? And like what he said, this lemon only lives on Devon Island. It's found no other place in the world but Devon Island. And as AJ rightly said, Devon Island is where they test everything to go to Mars. Because of the landscape and everything. Yeah. So how did this picture of this lemon from Devon Island end up along with all the other Mars pictures? You know what I'm saying? Let's see what AJ comes up with. But this is where I've always had my problem with it.
Hello?
Or you know what? F you and your stupid YouTube channel. You could take your Arctic lemming and shove it straight up your ass.
So how much you trust NASA is up to you, but I wouldn't trust them 100%. But some people go to the extreme with the Mars images.
Now, below this eagle is a whole city of bird and deer formations in the Sedona area.
There's that parrot look again.
There's the parrot again. Now, if you're looking at this area directly below the crater that has the eagle in it,
they see parrots and dolphins and all sorts of things in the pictures. Now, I don't see these things unless they're specifically pointed out to me. I think most of those images are a stretch, but I don't need anyone to hold my hand with the picture of the face. That one I can clearly see. As for Richard Hoagland, you've heard me talk about him a lot, especially on the After Files live stream. He was always one of my favorite guests on Art Bell. Very well-spoken guy, very entertaining. But he has plenty of detractors. He's been a favorite target of sites like Bad Astronomy and Skeptical Inquirer. He's been accused of exaggerating his credentials and his experience. But let me come to Richard's defense a little bit. All scientists do that. Richard Hoagland might be wrong about some things, and I think he's probably wrong about most things. But he's provided a valuable service, and it's something I don't think he gets enough credit for. He got millions of regular folks interested in the space program. And because of that, he was able to sway NASA into taking pictures of Mars that we might not have ever seen. And he's shown us that we have to keep an eye on NASA. We need people like Richard Hoagland out there. We need watchdogs, specifically watchdogs with access and with the ability to influence policy. Now, as for Dr. John Brandenburg and his nuclear war on Mars theory, Dr. Brandenburg is well respected and well credentialed. His earliest papers on the Mars theory was that a nuclear event happened naturally on the planet. There's a uranium mine in Gabon, Africa, which shows evidence of nuclear fission occurring naturally. So it's not a stretch to think this could happen on Mars. But after a while, Dr. Brandenburg claimed that what happened on Mars did not happen naturally, that the only way we see isotopes of xenon-129 is from the discharge of a nuclear weapon. Now, I've read both sides of this argument, and I'm not sure who's right. But Dr. Brandenburg's Mars nuclear war theory was rejected for peer review. But that's mainstream scientists, though. They're not always correct, but they always have an agenda. Right or wrong, it's an interesting theory that deserves attention and study, not ridicule. But you can't talk about Mars without being ridiculed. Yes, most everything we see in photographs from Mars can be explained, but there are a couple of things that can't. We've sent mission after mission to Mars, and I can't for the life of me understand why we haven't sent a rover through Cydonia and right up to the object that's supposed to be a face. NASA says there's nothing there, so it would be a waste of resources. But with all due respect to NASA, their resources come from we the people, and we the people want to know what the face on Mars really is. Now, until we have close-up photographs of Cydonia, close-up photographs that we can trust are undoctored, the story about the face on Mars is not going away.
And not as long as it generates clicks, huh?
True. And look, I completely agree that the chances of the face being an artificial structure are almost zero. But almost zero isn't zero. If there's even the slightest chance that the face and the pyramids were created by a civilization on Mars, we deserve to know. But more importantly, the people who built those monuments, they deserve to be remembered.
You gotta love AJ. You got to love AJ. Yeah.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. My name is AJ. You know Hecklefish.
How's it hanging?
This has been the Y Piles. If you had fun.
Fantastic. The thing is with AJ, he makes a really good perspective. You know, he's not saying he truly believes, but we should be very open-minded. In fact, you know what? Someone put in chat about the book. I actually had the book. I could have used this, mate. Dark Mission, The Secret History of NASA by Richard Hogan. And there's some very detailed photographs in here in regards of Mars. And well, especially the moon, really. You can see here, like, the face on Mars and stuff like that. But yeah, no, fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Yeah, appreciate that, mate. Yeah.
But it's still that lemon, or I like to call it the gopher. That, and I'm glad he's brought that up, because that has always bugged me with the Mars. I mean, I don't understand why NASA just doesn't admit to say, look, we screwed up the pictures, because like he said at the beginning, they misfiled the pictures with the face on Mars. Now, I could accept that maybe they misfiled the Devon Island picture, but then to make it red like it's very strange. It's very strange. But the face on Mars.
Yeah, and the point that AJ made, and it's actually in Richard Hogan's book as well, that the fact that they have photoshopped the same clouds, the same rocks. If they're going to fake one image, they're going to fake the other. You know, it's like I keep hearing the theory, like with people who filming UFO sightings, like, yeah, they had one encounter and one photograph, but then they faked the rest of it. It's like, whoa, like, you need to have like a perspective here. If you got caught once, what's the quote? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, or something like that.
Yep.
You should be very careful what NASA has been putting out with Mars. Like I said at the beginning of the show, mate, you know, the atmosphere is a lot brighter. It's not bright orange like it's been depicted. So we should be very open-minded and very, very critical thinking of what's been put out from any images coming out from NASA. But
indeed, but still, you can't like you take it, like he said at the end of the day, you take it how you want to take it.
Exactly.
See, I don't sit there and turn around and say, well, everything from NASA is fake. Especially how NASA is half transparent. They're half transparent because they have admitted that they photoshopped a lot of shit. Even like the images of Earth. They say they photoshopped it to make it look more appealing to us.
Yeah.
And that's not what we want. And I think I can't speak because it's not my tax. Well, yes, it is. No, sorry, I can speak because I do pay taxes in America. I do. Because my channel is monetized, I get taxed 20% of my revenue. So, and that tax goes to the Americans. So I can say this then, that we don't want the photoshopped image, NASA. We don't want these. We want it how it is. And then that way, and just put it out, because this is where lies the problem, where people can turn around and say, well, you're photoshopping the images. We can't deny that. I can't turn around. If we had a UFO that NASA took a picture of, a UFO, or you get what I'm saying? A lot of people can say, well, NASA does Photoshop, so why couldn't they Photoshop this image in? And it's really, you can't argue with that. You can say, look, I believe that it isn't Photoshop, but NASA does it. So it's absolutely ridiculous for them to do it. It makes no sense.
And they've been caught out doing it multiple times. To the time, well, they openly admit it now. You can go on NASA's website and they say they put out a statement, and it should still be there, that they Photoshop images of the Earth. Yeah.
And that was their excuse, to make it appealing to the viewers. Aesthetically appealing, I believe, was their exact quote.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly.
But still, like AJ said, Mars is still the gift that keeps on giving, because the reason why I remember this date is because it was my birthday. But on February the 22nd, the Mars rover took a stunning picture of what many people believe is a flying saucer over the surface of Mars.
Okay, you got the picture?
I've got everything, man. I wouldn't talk unless I had the receipts, man.
That's what I like about you.
That's how we talk. That's how we deal it here, man. But anyways, so I was going to do a show last week on this, and whatever reasons, I think it was because it was in my family, we're all born in February. So February is a hell of a month, because it's my birthday, it's my daughter's birthday. She's actually my birthday present, because she was born around my birthday. So she was my birthday present, and a bundle of joy she is. My missus's birthday, it's just insane for birthdays, man. So I dropped that show, as you guys know. But here we go. Let's see, how do I get rid of this? So this guy, he done the best videos, in my opinion, because what he discovered with this UFO is that, thank you very much, man. I'm at the age where I don't want to celebrate my birthdays, because it's not 1 year older, it's 1 year closer to that promise, that it says in the Bible, the meek will inherit the earth. I always believe that quote means, we get 6 foot by 3 foot off the earth when we pass. I used to always have this discussion with my mom, because my mom used to always tell me, be meek in this world, for you shall inherit the earth. And I used to say, you know what that means, Mom? That means that piece of ground you're going to get when you're dead. So birthdays to me I'm just one more step closer, so it's how it is. But anyways, do you still have the plutonium picture I sent you? No, mate, I don't. Sorry. Right.
Yeah, I would agree, Linda Birdie. Enjoy life. Make the most of it, because you never know when your time's up. You know what I mean? So you make the most of it now.
Right. So what we're looking at here is the first time this object was spotted.
Okay.
Now, what I'm going to say to you is this. You're going to hear, there's going to be some people that's going to come up to this picture and tell you that this is a dead pixel. My problem with it being a dead pixel is it's too big. Again,
Could you describe what a dead pixel actually means? What's the context of it?
When you take a picture, you have, like, when they say your camera has 10 million pixels, that's 10 million grids that it has to produce the image. And in one of those grids, it's black. That's called a dead pixel.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. I see what I follow.
You can see the dead pixels when you look at images from the sun. You know, NASA's images from the sun. Sometimes you might see like a little black dot by the sun, and people think that's a UFO. The thing is, I've been caught out with a dead pixel myself, and that's how I learned.
So a pixel would have been black then, in that case, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry, it'd be square, wasn't it?
Well, it could be square, it could be round. This is the problem with the UFOs on the sun, with the dead pixels, because they look round. So, but how you tell a dead pixel is because it doesn't move. It stays for a very long time until NASA can sort that out. So I've learned that. Yes, it does look like it's flying upside down. But this guy did a real good video. I believe he's South African, but he done a real good video. So we're going to take a look. This is the first one that was seen. This is going back, if memory serves me right, I think 2012. This one turned up. But then we had another turn up in February. I believe it was the 22nd. I'm pretty sure it was the 22nd because I thought, that's my birthday. So I believe it was that. So here, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what my man's got to say. Done a good video on this. Go to bed, mate.
This visitor showed up on the Rover Curiosity's doorstep in 2014. For those of you that aren't familiar with this one, we'll take a look at the source material as well. And then 3 days ago, this one showed up at the rover's doorstep. Let's have a look at the original source material and a closer comparison between the two. You'll find a link to the source material in the description. This photograph was taken by the right navigation camera on board the rover Curiosity on 2014-07-14. It was Sol 688 at the time. Here's the original photograph. Let's zoom in on the aerial object highlighted there. Check this out, folks. Let's take a closer look. It's got a strange, uniform, symmetrical look to it. It appears to be possibly a disc with a dome-like part attached underneath. I'm not sure what to make of this object, folks. Could it be some type of drone or craft that was photographed by the rover Curiosity?
Didn't Bob Lazar say that they like to fly the dome bits always down? Am I correct?
I'm not sure on that one, mate. It reminds me of a
Bob's
UFO
here.
story.
Bob, did you not say that they like to fly with the dome downwards? I'm sure because of me doing the videos. Anyways, let's get back to what he's saying.
To the right, we're looking at conventional magnification of that object, and to the left, Topaz Labs upscaling. And then the anomaly photographed by the rover Curiosity right navigation camera 3 days ago was taken on Sol 4816. It was the 22nd of February, 2026. And there's the photograph downloaded directly from the NASA site. And we can still make out these strange wall or foundation-like anomalies I featured a couple of days ago, but we'll zoom in on the object highlighted there to the top left. It's getting a little clearer. Let's take a closer look. Check this out, folks. Again, could this be a disc, a large dome underneath, and a smaller one on the top? This is one of the best photographs I've seen of this saucer-like anomaly. And there's a comparison of conventional magnification versus Topaz Labs upscaling. Could these two, UFO or UAP, be of similar design, or looking at something totally different? Could that be a disk, a small dome underneath, and then again, this one with a larger dome underneath and a smaller one on top? Or could we be...
See, they do look like different crafts, don't they?
They do, don't they?
If you want to call them crafts.
Looking at a similar craft is taken from a different angle.
Why do you put this music on?
I hope you enjoyed this presentation.
Oh, that's why he did, because it was ending. Yeah, let's go back.
Go back a bit, mate.
Go back. That's it. Because he's got both of them. That's the new one, and that's the old one. It's pretty interesting. Because I don't think it's dead pixels.
No, don't look like dead pixels at all.
And I don't think it's dust, because dust can be thrown up, and that's definitely not dust.
Yeah. Check out the photograph I've got in the thing, mate. Kind of resembles that. Kind of. So this was a UFO sighting taken in France in 1954. But there's also another one like that. I'm not too sure if that's the same photograph
Hold
taken
that up.
upside down.
No, put the other one up. All right.
And that was also taken in France as well.
Keep it up. Don't move it.
Yeah, that's fine.
It looks like that one there.
It looks like that.
Sorry, I'm moving my mouse on the wrong screen.
No,
looks like
okay,
that one there. It looks like that one there, don't it?
Looks just like that.
Yeah, let's go back. Let me go back. Let's pull that one up. Where was that taken?
So this was taken in France in 1954.
I got to take one down to put the other one up.
Yeah. So this is 1954 in France. Look at that. Reminds me of that.
Pretty interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks the same, doesn't it?
But
an Australian UFO. Upside down. Yeah.
So what do you guys think about those two UFOs on Mars? Do you think they could be UFOs? I mean, they're in the air.
Yeah.
It's definitely in the air.
It's definitely in the air. Yeah, it's definitely in the air, but it's kind of hard to make out. I wish it was more or less in color.
Well, he's done a good job, because he's using he does say what filter he's using to bring it out more clearer. But because if you look at the original pictures,
yeah,
see, like here's just one of them. See how it's just way out there in the distance, and even when you zoom in, because I did on this guy's video, I'm gonna have to put his video in the description box. And if you go to his video, go into his description box, and he's got the direct links to the original photos, so you can take a look at it yourself. Okay. I went there and I tried to like zoom in on it, and I couldn't get it nowhere as near as good as he did. I don't think he's done a stellar job. I don't know what his channel's called. So hold on, let's see what his channel's. Give him a shout out. Let's give this boy a shout out. Gene Ward, he's called. Gene, you know what? I already liked his video, but you know what? I'm going to give this guy a sub.
Mate, could you do me a favor? Could you bring up the image again from the video? If you won't mind. Not that one, from the video, if you could. Don't worry if you can't. Go back to the two images together.
I just gotta go big screen. Stop rushing me, man. Calm down.
Right. Oh, I thought it looked like that. I was gonna say it kind of looks like, but honestly, now thinking about it, now
it could do if it was flying upside down.
Yeah.
Turn that image upside down and then compare it. See? Yeah.
Oh, I can't see the camera. There we go. Something like that. Hold on.
It looks more like the other one, the one next to it.
Yeah. There was a really good photograph in here. I'm going to find
No
it.
cigar. How you doing, man?
Hey, YY4s. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you. Oh, hold on. No, it's not.
But anyways.
Mate. Yeah.
But anyways.
It's good nevertheless, mate. Yeah. It's exciting. It really is.
So what do you guys think? I mean, I asked you. I didn't see anybody say anything. Do you guys think that possibly, in my opinion, that's in the air. That is definitely in the air. I've got to, in my opinion, I've got to take off dead pixels. I'm going to take out the dirt, crap on the lens. You know, it's pretty amazing shot.
Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah.
And it leads to the that is Mars being visited, or could this be something that they call, because many people still theorize that there's a underground civilization in Mars. There is life in Mars, but it's underground because they believe water is underground.
Well, that goes back to the myth that, well, I'll say myth, the conclusion that, you know, the extraterrestrials are hiding underneath the deep ocean.
I think Mavi's having a break, man. Know that one. I got you. Yeah. Could be a bird from Devon's Island. Could be. Could be, because I see. Yes. Stop putting Devon's Island in my head. And I think Mavi's having a break because his channel ain't been. None of us have been doing good with the views. None of us. And if you're money orientated, then it's not a good time to be doing UFO videos because we're not getting views. So I'm not money orientated, so it doesn't bother me. You know, I'm just stoked that somebody watches it. You know, I remember when I first started, and I'd be lucky if I got 30 views. So, stop it, man. But I think Mavi's having a break. He does do this every so often. He'll have a couple of months off, and then he'll be right back posting clouds. Don't you worry. Right.
Brilliant.
But we couldn't leave off Mars without talking about Phobos. Because if you guys saw my trailer that I did for tonight's show, I included the famous speech by Buzz Aldrin. Well, not his famous saying where he said, "You will be shocked to find out that there are monoliths on the moon of Mars, Phobos."
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah.
So I think maybe we're gonna go back to the Y-Files because he's actually covered.
Sweet. Let's have a look.
I'm just trying to find it, sir. You know, give me time. Right. Or do you want the musical interlude before we jump back to the Y-Files?
Oh, I don't mind, mate. I don't mind.
Let's have the. I'll tell you what. This is going to be a great time for you to get your stuff together, get your papers together, roll it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna give you the musical interlude. That Bob Lazar. You still there, Bob? I'm gonna play your song. Bob Lazar did a tune for us.
Sweet.
So is he still here? Is Bob still here? I don't want to play Bob's song and he's not here. Mind you, Bob did it, so he knows how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I quit YY4s. Yeah.
So you can this song is currently on
You
ready? Here we go.
Do it. Oh, Bob's here. He's here, mate.
This just in from Roswell Army Airfield. The many rumors regarding the flying disc became a reality yesterday, when the intelligence office of the 509th Bomb Group of the 8th Air Force, Roswell Army Airfield.
Now we'll play it all, Bob.
Was fortunate enough.
You went to the trouble to do this. We'll play it all, mate.
In the black velvet silence, where the desert meets the sky, something drifts, not falling, not flying, just rising. July heat on the Foster Ranch, Mac Gruzzle heard the thunder that never came. Tinfoil and balsa struts and rubber that stretched like alien skin in the flame. The 509 rolled in heavy. Jesse Marcel cradled the wreckage like a child. Next day the headline screamed, Ralph captures flying saucer on ranch in Roswell region, and the brass walked it back with a smile. High altitude weather balloon, they said. Project Mogul they never named. Radar reflectors, microphones for Soviet tests. A balloon train 20 stories long and chained. But the rancher swore he saw symbols. The nurses whispered of bodies small and gray. While the crates left Roswell in the dead of night on a C-54 headed for right pad, and the sky kept watching and the papers kept lying. But they're always rocket balloons, drifting where the stars pretend to die. Rocket balloons in the government sky, helium dreams and classified string. We chase the saucers, we chase the rain, but every light that bends the night is just another balloon taking flight. Rocket balloon, always rocket balloon.
Always rocket.
They carved a runway out of nothing, where the mountains fold like lies. U2's painted black, later A12 screaming at the edge of paradise. Camo dudes in white pickups, no plates, no smiles, just mirrored eyes. And deep beneath the dry lake bed, they built Hangar 18 in disguise. Bob Laser stepped into the light in '89 on a Sunday night TV show. S4 Papoose Lake, 9 craft that didn't need the wind to go. Elements 115, stable island, gravity amplifiers humming low. He passed the polygraph, he drew the blueprints, he told the world what he'd been shown. I saw the sport model, hand scanner doors. It moved like it was alive. Or maybe it was just a balloon with a really good publicist.
Still they're always rocket balloons, even when the radar paints them gold. Rocket balloons doing 30,000 knots, while the Pentagon says unexplained. We're told I saw the future, or maybe just a test of a balloon that NASA never blessed. Rocket balloon, forever rocket balloon. Phoenix lights in 97, V-shaped silence over the desert floor. Thousands watched it glide, no sound, no engines, just a curtain in the war. They said it was flares or maybe A-10s,
but the timing never fit. While high above the mountains, another balloon train did its secret bit. Rendlesham Forest, 1980, bent waters, men with flashlights, drawn beams of light that dance like living things until the morning yawn. The memo said unexplained, but the logs read balloon release at dawn. And every Navy tic-tac, every go fast, every gimbal on the screen is just another rocket balloon doing things the public's never seen. So burn the file, share the tape, let the desert swallow every name. Tell the believers they're crazy while you launch another frame. Elements once its team, just a joke on the periodic chart we made. The real anti-gravity is the string that never fades. We are the watchers in the sky. We are the lie that learned to fly. And every time the world looks up and screams, they're here. We just caught the tether and disappear. Yes, they're always rocket blue. The greatest cover story ever sold. Rocket balloons painted with the stars, while the truth stays forever cold. From Roswell to the Nimitz, from Lazar to the lights, every saucer ever seen was
it's a rocket balloon.
earthly hands that night. Rocket balloon. Always. Rocket balloons. Somewhere in the dark, a balloon is still rising. And the stars keep their secrets. By staying perfectly still.
We're nearly there.
Nice, mate. Thank you, Bob. That was spectacular. I love that beat. I love that tempo. As a drummer myself, I like that.
I like how they got most of the sightings in there.
I was paying attention to the sightings. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah. Thank you, Bob, as well. Thank you. Yeah,
well done,
much
man.
appreciated.
Well done. I got a message from him, and he said, I did this song. Check it out. And I said, I'm playing it tonight, you know. So thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So,
well, I think we hit the musical interlude on that one. So let's go back to Mars now, where there definitely are not any rocket balloons. And we're gonna let's take a look at Mars and its moon Phobos. And again, we're going back to the Y-Files. And I don't care what you think, I like what he does. And that's that.
Sweet. Let's have a look.
Stop rushing me.
Oh, it's what's up?
I must have pressed the wrong button. There we go. Right. So we need to find the right start. Hold on. Oh man, give me a second. I got rid of the wrong video.
Yeah, you played the same video, mate.
Yeah. That's what happens when I have so much stuff up here. Right. Give me a second and I'll have it for you.
Yeah, a lot of Jim Carrey talk. He's just had plastic surgery. It's quite obvious, but you want to believe what you want to believe. You know, he's a clone, he's a stunt double, etc., etc. But it's quite obvious he's had plastic surgery. And kind of going off what Moody's comment saying there, you know, a lot of these facial expressions, stretching of the face, and all that. You know, it's all a bit wear and tear after a while. But yeah. I mean, I talked about that yesterday. But yeah, Jim Carrey looks like Jim Carrey, sounds like Jim Carrey. But we're living in a day of conspiracy theorists. And when I mean by that, it's kind of jumping straight to the wildest conspiracies out there.
It's what sells, mate.
Exactly. But you need to have a critical thinking skill at the same time, you know. It's fine, 12 feet tall, you can believe what you want to believe, mate, but it's quite obvious that he's had plastic surgery. I mean, I could say that Sharon and Kelly Osbourne look like clones, but they've just had too much.
They have plastic surgery.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's not like celebrities don't have it. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, it's but it got me the views yesterday, so I don't mind that.
Some views, man. That's all it is. That's why people jump to these theories, because they do it so often. They say with Justin Bieber, he's been cloned. They say yada yada's been cloned. They even said, didn't they even say Paul McCartney's been cloned?
Yeah, he died in 1960s and all that. That's a very old conspiracy, you know. That's
and that probably has more weight to it than the Jim Carrey one, because there's one of the albums where they say he's dead.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So, but anyways, let's get back to Mars, and more to the point, Phobos.
Sweet.
And we'll talk about was the explorer called Phobos? I think it was as well.
I can't remember, mate. I can't remember.
Right. So I'll press play, and we're going to dive right in.
Scientists and astronomers have long debated the potential for life on Mars. When the first probes landed on the surface, the outlook for finding life wasn't good. The landscape was barren, the atmosphere a reddish-green haze. This did not look like a planet that could support even the simplest life forms. However, after further study, opinions have changed. As I've shown on this channel, NASA has been taking some creative license with their photography.
Link below to the video about Mars and the NASA cover-up.
Right. The Martian atmosphere is actually bluish gray, not green or red.
There you go.
And the surface of Mars used to be a lot like Earth, covered in vast oceans of water, liquid water, just like Earth. As you know, the Earth has a spinning iron-nickel core that creates a magnetic field. This field protects us from solar wind and radiation. Well, billions of years ago, Mars had a similar core, which gave it similar protection. But eventually the Martian core stopped spinning, and without the protection of its magnetic field, solar wind stripped away most of the Martian atmosphere. The reason there's water on Earth is because our atmosphere is actually pretty heavy. When Mars lost its atmospheric pressure, its water evaporated into space. Well, most of its water. There's still water frozen in the Martian ice caps. Scientists have even discovered organic compounds in Martian rocks, compounds that are the building blocks of life. So if there are signs of life on Mars, what about its moons? Could there be life there too? Well, Mars has two moons, Phobos and Deimos, both named after the sons of the Greek god Ares. American astronomer Asaph Hall discovered them in 1877. Now, Phobos is the larger and closer of the two moons, but large in this case is misleading. It's only about 14 miles across. For comparison, our moon is 2,000 miles wide. Phobos is also oddly close to Mars, only about 5,000 miles away. Our moon is 200,000 miles away. Phobos is covered with massive craters and dense. The surface is dull with no atmosphere. It's not round at all. It's been called a giant potato. Phobos looks more like an asteroid than a moon. And for a long time, astronomers thought Phobos and Deimos were asteroids that got captured by Mars's gravity. Not only do they almost perfectly resemble asteroids, they appear to be made out of the same type of rock. But their orbit is so oddly close to Mars that scientists from the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, or JAXA, proposed another theory. Instead of being trapped asteroids, Mars's moons might have formed in a similar way to our moon.
Oh, you mean created by aliens in a distant part of the galaxy and brought here to serve as a base of operations?
No, I'm talking about the giant impact hypothesis, that a large object collided with the Earth and the moon was formed by the debris from the impact.
Yeah, that's not how the moon was formed.
Well, I have my suspicions too, but let's stick with Mars.
Okay, but if you throw out more cockamamie theories, you're gonna hear it.
I know, but you're gonna like the theory about Mars.
We'll see.
If an asteroid strikes a planet hard enough to create debris, a moon can form, or in the case of Mars, two moons. And there's scientific evidence to back it up. Just like Mars, scientists have found inactive signs of life on the tiny moon, possible remnants of microorganisms or DNA, aka the building blocks of life, Martian life.
Okay, you're right. I like this theory.
According to one of the lead scientists at JAXA, Phobos is an ideal natural laboratory.
If Martian life once existed and was widespread elsewhere on Mars, the chance that its dead remains exist also on Phobos is, in my opinion, relatively high. This is because numerous small asteroidal impacts on Mars eject Martian surface material, and the ejecta is relatively easily transferred to Phobos.
Another scientist on the team had a similar thought.
In my opinion, of all the chances for finding life as we know it in the solar system, the surfaces of Mars and Phobos are our best bet. Phobos is a time capsule of ancient Mars.
If ancient life existed on Mars, its moons could be the key to unlocking the red planet's secrets. In fact, Phobos could be the key to unlocking many secrets. Even though it's smaller and less symmetrical than our moon, it has one surprising similarity. Like our moon, Phobos might be hollow. In the 1960s, Soviet astronomers started noticing Phobos' orbit wasn't exactly normal. It was orbiting faster than Mars was spinning, meaning it was lighter than expected, much lighter. A faster orbit also means the gravitational field was extremely weak. So weak that a 150-pound human on Phobos would weigh only 2 ounces.
Oh, how much would you have weighed on Phobos when you had your COVID weight?
I don't want to talk about that. The idea of Phobos being hollow gained traction in the 1950s and 60s. Russian astrophysicist Joseph Shklovsky and even Carl Sagan proposed that the moon's unusual orbit could mean only one thing: Phobos must be hollow. Not only that, but Shklovsky hypothesized that Phobos must have a thin sheet metal structure on its outside. In other words, Phobos is artificial, unnatural, alien, whatever you want to call it. And other scientists agreed. Dr. Fred Singer thought that a hollow Phobos was a perfectly sound explanation.
If the satellite is indeed spiraling inward, as deduced from astronomical observation, then there is little alternative to the hypothesis that it is hollow and therefore Martian-made.
Fred Singer wasn't a nobody. He was the science advisor to President Eisenhower. Even NASA admits the moon is odd. In their words, the interior of Phobos could be a rubble pile barely holding together. One Phobos researcher said the moon appears to be held together by a kind of mildly cohesive outer fabric.
Outer fabric like Martian sheet metal?
Could be. Whatever it was, astronomers and scientists from around the world were beginning to suspect Phobos was hiding some secrets. And the Russians? They wanted in. In In July 1988, the Soviets launched 2 probes, Phobos 1 and Phobos 2. These were sophisticated spacecraft equipped with state-of-the-art instruments. The mission was to study the Martian environment and gather detailed images of Phobos' surface. And it wasn't just the Soviets who wanted this data. The mission was backed by 14 other nations, including the US. But the Phobos mission got off to a rough start. Before Phobos 1 could gather any data, an operative on Earth entered the wrong command. The probe turned away from its source of power, the sun.
Someone fat-fingered the probe.
Yep.
Fat-fingered the probe.
Stop it.
No control Z, eh?
Nope. With no power and no radio contact, Phobos 1 was lost to space. But Phobos 2 was working perfectly, for a few months anyway. However, on March 28, 1989, just as Phobos 2 was preparing to make its closest approach to Phobos, something unexpected happened. It started going haywire. The probe's signals weakened and it began acting strange. Instead of maintaining its steady course, the probe suddenly began spinning out of control. The control center couldn't explain it. This was space. Things don't randomly start spinning, unless they're hit by something. They scrambled to maintain contact with the probe, but no success. Phobos 2 sent back one final image, then everything went black. After days of failed attempts to reconnect with Phobos 2, the mission officially ended. The probe's sudden failure was allegedly caused by a computer malfunction.
Allegedly?
Well, before it failed, Phobos 2 had been sending data to Earth. The last transmission from Phobos 2 contained a series of perplexing images. And the last image Phobos 2 sent to Earth provided proof that it didn't fail because of a simple computer malfunction. Phobos 2 was attacked by a UFO. After the mission ended, the Russian government kept the majority of the photos secret. But this was a multinational cooperative effort. The other countries involved didn't agree to the secrecy, to put it nicely. So after increasing pressure, the Russians finally released the photos taken by Phobos 2. Well, most of them. The Russians kept the last 4 frames of the photo dump classified. Seconds before Phobos 2 went MIA, it snapped a photo of its attacker. It depicted a long elliptical shadow cast on the surface of Phobos. A massive oval object was hovering above the moon. The shadow's shape and size could not be explained as natural phenomena. Some scientists thought it might be a shadow or a trick of the eye, while others speculated that it was an object. Either way, something was there that shouldn't have been. But without those last 4 classified photos, it was hard to know exactly what it was. Then, in 1991, Soviet test pilot Maria Popovich revealed one of those top secret Russian photos, and suddenly it all became clear. In the picture, a long elliptical object is clearly seen approaching Phobos. It's estimated to be 15 miles long.
On a recent sightings episode, we brought you information about the possible destruction of a Soviet space probe called Phobos by a UFO.
Phobos 2 was sending back pictures, as usual when suddenly the last picture from Phobos arrived.
On that picture, you could see Phobos, the Martian moon, and an oblong-shaped object. The object cast a passing shadow on Mars.
And it's interesting to note that these photos were taken with infrared cameras. Infrared is used to measure the temperature of objects. If the object were a shadow or trick of the eye, it wouldn't appear in an infrared photo. The question then became, what was it? And why would it attack the Phobos 2 probe and cut its transmission? Did it think the probe was a threat? Or was there something it was trying to hide? Because Phobos 2 sent back another very interesting image. It was a close-up photo of a region of Mars. And in that photo is what looks like the ruins of an ancient city. Mars's tiny moon, Phobos, holds some massive secrets secrets that something or someone doesn't want us to see. Over the decades, probes and satellites sent to Mars and its moons have captured images of things that don't look exactly natural. Perhaps the most famous is the so-called face on Mars.
Face on Mars, link below.
The face is located in a region of Mars called Cydonia. It was first photographed by NASA's Viking 1 orbiter in 1976. Some believe it's evidence of an ancient Martian civilization. Others think it's a message or a marker left by alien visitors.
Yeah, Anunnaki.
Could be. According to the Anunnaki legend, not only did they stop on Mars on the way to Earth, they set up an outpost there.
Anunnaki, link below.
Also in the Cydonia region and elsewhere, there are a number of objects that look like artificial constructions, including pyramids, obelisks, even the ruins of ancient cities. One of the most intriguing structures is a pyramid in the region called Elysium Planitia. The Elysium Pyramid is a massive structure that rises nearly a mile above the surrounding plain. Many believe that the pyramid's shape and alignment are too precise to be a natural formation. The only explanation is that it was constructed by intelligent beings. Other puzzling features on Mars include the so-called tubes and glass tunnels that form a network across the planet's surface. Some say this is the work of an alien architect and evidence of underground Martian cities. Phobos orbits very close to Mars. If there was a civilization on Mars at some point, you'd expect to see anomalies on Phobos as well. And we do. Phobos has deep, uniform grooves. The grooves are not only parallel to each other, but they're nearly the same width, 700 to 1,000 feet. And they're the same depth, 75 to 90 feet. Not only that, but they're brighter than the rest of the surface, as if they were made from a different material. And over the years, new grooves have formed, grooves that suddenly appeared in between space missions. But it wasn't just the tiny moon holding secrets. The Phobos 2 probe also took pictures of what looked like remnants of a city on Mars. Again, you can see rectangular shapes and even grid-like straight lines, as if there are buildings and roads below. Now, scientists claim these anomalies on Mars and Phobos are a trick of the eye, nothing more than pareidolia, our tendency to see patterns in random images. Phobos' craters, too, are strange. The largest is Stickney Crater, named after the wife of Asaph Hall, the man who discovered the moons. Stickney Crater is a massive 6 miles wide. It takes up almost half of Phobos' surface. The rim is so circular that it almost looks fake. Believers of the hollow Phobos theory believe that the crater is the entrance to the moon's cavernous interior, caverns potentially harboring alien life. And only a short distance from the giant crater is the Phobos monolith. It's 279 feet across and 300 feet tall. It's oddly bright and oddly rectangular. Nature likes circles and curves, not sharp edges and straight lines. American astronaut Buzz Aldrin even talks about the monolith.
We should go boldly where man has not gone before. Fly by the comets, visit asteroids, visit the moon of Mars. There's a monolith there, a very unusual structure on this little potato-shaped object that goes around Mars once in 7 hours. When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there?
Some say the monolith is an artifact, a remnant of an ancient Martian civilization, placed near the crater as a beacon or marker. But there is another theory about the monolith, that it's evidence of technology shared between worlds, because there are structures on Phobos and Mars that are almost identical to structures found right here on Earth. In the Cydonia region of Mars, along with the face and what appear to be buildings, a number of obelisks have been identified. These structures seem to be arranged in a precise geometric pattern, forming a series of interlocking triangles and hexagons, too precise and too consistent to result from natural processes. But when you think of obelisks, you can't help but think of ancient Egypt. And you can't talk about Egypt without mentioning the Great Pyramid of Giza. There's a theory that the Great Pyramid was not a tomb or monument, that it was an ancient power plant. And there's scientific evidence to support the theory that the pyramid created electricity, a lot of it. Nikola Tesla even tried to replicate this technology.
Tesla pyramid, link below.
So now we have to consider the electric universe theory.
Electric universe theory link. Well, you know, it's below.
This theory says that electricity, not gravity, is the dominant force in the universe. Everything is part of a vast interconnected web of electric currents. Every planet, every star, and every galaxy, all connected. And that electricity is all around us, everywhere. Now, if that's true, the pyramids around the world, like those in Egypt, Mexico, Indonesia, and Peru, could have been tapping into this electricity field. This is zero-point energy, which exists in all quantum fields. It's all around us all the time. The pyramids could have harnessed that energy and transmitted it around the world to the obelisks, which were like power substations. And if that's true, then the pyramids and obelisks on Mars could have served the same purpose. Remember, Mars used to have water and an atmosphere, just like Earth. And maybe the monolith on Phobos was another one of those power substations, harnessing zero-point energy and delivering power to whatever's inside. And maybe when Mars lost its atmosphere, it short-circuited the zero-point energy field connecting Mars to Earth. But there's no way to tell. No scientist will look into zero-point energy. Well, that's not completely true. Quite a few scientists have investigated zero-point energy. Some have even patented devices that they claim could tap into this energy field and provide free electricity to everyone, everywhere on the planet. We even have an episode coming up on these devices. But, spoiler alert, all those patents were seized by the government, and all the scientists are dead.
Dead indeed.
Coincidence? I don't think so.
So what exactly happened to Phobos 2? Why did it start spinning out of control? Why did Russia keep the photos classified for so long? What are the anomalies and who or what created them? Well, like the Mars episode, this one is difficult to debunk, but not impossible. Let's start with the facts. All the mystery surrounding Phobos 2's sudden failure is true. In 1989, Soviet scientists published a report in Nature magazine about Phobos 2's experiments. Only 3 paragraphs in the 37-page report discuss the probe's loss. They admit not only that it was spinning, but that it was possibly struck by something. Now, whether it was targeted by an alien ship, we don't know. But what the Russians downplayed was it was spinning before it got to Mars. Phobos 1 went dark, that's true, and Phobos 2 was malfunctioning the whole time. Because it was spinning, Phobos 2 was transmitting data all over the place. The data that did get back to Earth was messy. The cameras weren't working properly. The giant 35-mile-long cigar-shaped UFO, it was a data glitch. But the story is worse than that. Remember how Marina Popovich came forward as a whistleblower? She said that the image of the giant cigar-shaped craft was the last one sent before the probe went dark.
That's
well,
not
that
true.
Wasn't true. There were actually 57 more images sent back to Earth for 2 more days.
Whoa.
In those images, you see a white line going down the center of every frame taken with the infrared camera, no matter what the camera was pointing at. When Phobos took pictures of Jupiter, there's the white line again.
White lines, vision dreams of passion going through my mind. And all the while I think of you. Grandmaster Flash.
I know who it is. Okay, so there was no cigar-shaped UFO. That was a glitch with the infrared lens. When we look at the same pictures that aren't infrared, there's no object. Now, most articles and videos about the Phobos 2 incident will say that Marina Popovich was a cosmonaut who'd been to space, but she wasn't. But she really was a test pilot, and she was a rock star. She reached the rank of colonel and was the first Soviet woman to break the sound barrier. But she was also a big-time UFO believer. And whether she was lying about the image or is just misinformed and excited, I'm not sure. But I am sure she wasn't a whistleblower. She had permission to show those photos. The Soviet government loved her. When she passed away in 2017, she was buried with full military honors. Now, also, to sell the Phobos 2 story, that clip of Buzz Aldrin talking about the monolith is often used, but it's never used in full. It's usually cut off at who put it there, implying that an alien race put it there. But if you listen to the full clip, he thinks it's a natural formation.
When people find out about that, they're going to say, who put that there? Who put that there? Well, the universe put it there. If you choose, God put it there.
The elliptical shadow is a little harder to debunk. We do have newer images that show the shadow of Phobos on Mars, and the shapes are identical. Now, UFO believers will say this is impossible because the original Phobos shadow has sharp edges, but that photo had been retouched. Specifically, it was sharpened. If you look at the original unsharpened image, it looks exactly like current photos. It's not a UFO. Okay, but is Phobos hollow?
Yep.
Probably not.
Damn it.
Phobos was formed when a bunch of small asteroids clumped together. So while it's not hollow, it's full of caverns and empty spaces. The grooves on Phobos are weird because Mars's other moon Deimos doesn't have them. Now, last year, a paper was published in the Planetary Science Journal. It says the grooves are probably caused by Mars's gravity, which squeezes and pulls on the moon. The grooves are where the parts of the surface of Phobos are falling into those empty spaces, causing channels and canyons. Now, this is a sign that Phobos will eventually be pulled apart, and this is expected to happen in about 40 million years.
Yeah, but what about the sheet metal skin?
Well, the paper addresses this too. When Phobos is pulled and squeezed, it throws up dust. Over millions of years, this dust settles fairly evenly around the surface. So Phobos is covered in a thin layer of skin, but it's not sheet metal, it's dust. Now, the monolith is there.
Yes!
But it's not an unusual feature. Monoliths like this are found all over the solar system, including our moon.
All built by the aliens for the space internet.
Could be aliens. I'm not saying it's not, but I am saying monoliths are common. They could be common because they were placed there, we don't know. The pictures of the city on Mars is probably Pareidolia, but until we go there, we won't know for sure. Now, the glass tubes and tunnels actually were explored, and they're not glass tubes at all, just rock formations.
I get so annoyed when everything is debunked.
Well, I don't know if I debunked everything, but I think I presented enough information to help you separate the facts from a lot of wrong information that's floating around the internet. There's still so much we don't know about Mars. Regardless, Phobos is still a very interesting object, and scientists believe evidence of life could be there. All we have to do is land a probe there and check. It may be a coincidence, but every mission to land on Phobos has failed. But we're not giving up. This September, Japan is sending a probe to Mars, and that probe is scheduled to collect samples from Phobos late next year. And that probe could answer all the questions about this mysterious moon. Unless the aliens shoot it down. Thanks so much for hanging out today.
So
My name's AJ. That's excellent.
Another fantastic video. He does a fantastic job. You know, it gives you like the believer side, well, I'll say the conspiracy side of it, you know, the strange stuff, but then he adds, you know, this sort of, well, say semi-debunk, the skeptic sort of side, but it is very much well balanced with the information. So yeah. So is that happening this year then? The landing?
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Let me see. Let me just have a look how old that video is.
It'd be really interesting to see what would be the outcome, for sure.
Well, it'll be published because that was a year. That was a year ago, so it should be this time September if I heard him right.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, interesting stuff, man. Yeah.
So that's
hopefully they can pass Mars. Would be nice.
We have?
No, them. The Japanese.
Go past Mars.
Yeah, and go look at the face on Mars and all that. Do what NASA should be doing, you know, and be honest about it.
Yeah, well, hopefully they'll do a flyover on that area. Who knows? Who knows what they're looking at? I mean, if I was any kind of space agency, I would be sending stuff to the polar caps.
Mm.
That's where you're going to find anything there. It's going to be frozen. It's going to be, there will be something there.
Yeah. Even the dark side of the moon, because that's been pretty much, that's where the strange stuff, apparently, that the extraterrestrials are hiding out. Because we only see one side of the moon, you know, so it's interesting, mate. Who knows? The mystery, it's very intriguing, very intriguing.
And that's the whole thing about it. That's why to round up Mars, it's just like it's a place full of mystery, and the only way we can ever solve these is when we get boots on the ground.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
do you think they'll ever get a man on the moon?
On the moon, we've already had.
Oh, sorry, on
sorry,
Mars,
Bart Sabel, but we've already been there. Nah, well, I don't know now because Elon's he's talking about scrapping his Mars mission, and he's more focused now on colonizing the moon. So who knows? Who knows where that is? And I think that's a logical step. The Mars is a bit ambitious to get there, but the moon, we can do it. The moon we could do, and they're openly looking to start reactors there. So they've got a lot of plans. So I don't know I should see it in my lifetime. If I live another 10 years, we should see something
from NASA. But like I said, as we went into the videos, the photographs are very sketchy. Very sketchy, so we need to be very cautious.
Well, you believe what you want. You can preach cautious, but you believe what you want to believe.
Exactly.
I mean, if they go to Mars, then if they go to the moon again, then NASA's not going to hide that they go. It's whatever they send us back, we have to look at. And you use your brains. Use your brains. Don't listen to what some other guy's telling you, because sometimes they're wrong.
Yeah. Like Barca, bro.
No. Well, that's it, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
That was a good episode. That was interesting.
That's where I'm at, man. That's where I'm at. And again, we can't say anything about Mars because again, we're not there. We and what I mean by us not being there, we ain't got a physical person there to look at it. But I'm sure once we colonize it, we'll find stuff. It would be cool, like it would be like Ghost on Mars. Have you ever seen that movie, Ghost of Mars?
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's been a really interesting episode. It's been a very eye opener, especially with the photographs we've been observing of Mars. Yes, a lot of it could be down to pareidolia. Yes, a lot of it could be natural, artificial, but there's some very strange anomalies, hence the show title. So yeah, fascinating one, mate. Fascinating.
No, and we're coming up to the mark now. So yeah, that's it, man.
Sweet.
That is it. Sweet. That's where I'm at. And I'm done. So what's your show on Friday going to be?
No idea. No idea, mate. I'll probably bring up some publications and see what's going on in ufology at the moment. Nothing's really great happening at the moment. So, but anyway, I'll make things exciting like I always do. So yeah, I appreciate everyone being in chat. It's much appreciated. And yeah, what are we going to do, mate? Are we going to do next week? Oh, so are we going to change to do a weekly show?
I don't know. Would you guys like to see a weekly show?
Yeah, would you guys like to see like every Wednesday, me and Hidden going live instead of like every other week? So yeah, drop your thoughts and comments because yeah, I enjoy these live streams for sure. Y4 says yes. Okay. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I know. Wednesday's my spot, man. I love Wednesdays.
Yeah, it's good for me as well. It's good for me.
So fantastic. Yeah, I think I can't tell you what we got in store because Wednesdays we'll figure it out. Any old cases you want to look at?
Oh, I've got plenty. Oh yeah, don't worry. There'll be. I mean, like I was saying to Hidden, as we were discussing about this, you know, ufology goes up and down and up and down, but don't fear. I've got loads of books here we can go through. There's loads of videos online. We can go through so many cases. So we're not shy of content here on Hidden Underbelly. So yeah, I think that's I think everyone wants that. Yeah. So every Wednesday.
Because I like looking at the old cases with you, man. I really do enjoy them.
I do.
Because
I
don't know these cases, so it's an eye opener.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I tell you what we can do. We can do the Ben Herman UFO case. I'll send all the stuff to you.
Never heard of him. There you go.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll think of something. So we'll get
the Turkey UFO. You want to see that one?
That's the 2008 Hindenburg UFO sighting. I think we covered it. Didn't we cover it?
Well, we had a chat about it.
I think we had a chat. Yeah.
And I saw. I gotta say something though, because now I'm gonna call. I don't want to call the guy a name, so I'm not gonna call him a name. But I saw Squeeze Lemon. Yeah, you guys ever heard of this guy? But he came at this video, the Turkey one, and people wrote to me and said he's debunked it. And I went and looked at his video, and he did not debunk this video. He did not debunk it. He put up 3 possible scenarios, and none of them fitted. None of them fitted. And as far as Squeeze Lemon goes, is it the Squeeze Monkey? The Squeeze? I don't know.
Him. Yeah, him.
Is it him? He's kind of gone a bit weird now, and he's just putting out CGI videos.
So, yeah, he's a debunker, isn't he? So
he's a
yeah. No comment.
That's all I can say. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
He banned me from his show because of that. Well, because you called him a fool. Anybody that drinks so much red wine that he does is bound to make a lot of mistakes. But yeah, he is debunked.
yeah.
But anyways, I mean, we could also put that in there and have a look at the Turkey sighting as well. But also bring up your man as well that you called. I never heard of it.
Yeah, that's fine, mate. Yeah, don't worry. I can send you the stuff, and yeah, we can explore these old cases because there's loads of them, absolutely tons of them. So yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, and he can clip me and hear what I said about him, because I think if you're gonna debunk a video, there's only one truth, not 3 possible truths. To me, it's not debunked. It's just you throwing shit at something and hoping it'll stick.
Yeah,
that's what it is. That's what was being done there. And I felt you're doing a great disservice to yourself, man, because you're an absolute idiot. The first debunk was the ship, and there was never no ship there. There's no records of a ship being there, so it's all in this imagination of red wine in his head. So, and then the other one of the ludicrous one was the lens cap.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, you're clutching here, man. But anyways, that's enough about talking about crap channels.
But guys, thank you so much for being in chat, and we will see you. Well, you can come catch me on Friday on Alien Addict. I'm not too sure what I've got in store, but if you don't, come catch me and Hidden next Wednesday at 9 o'clock.
Oh, sorry. Yes. And on that note, I'm going to bid you adieu. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you guys for turning up, man. Thank you for letting me waste 3 hours of your life that you ain't getting back. But you know what? Enjoy you guys here, man. I enjoy you guys here. And I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't know what videos are going to be coming out, but hopefully I'm going to have something for you. I mean, you just don't know what it's like out there. But I'm gonna definitely get something for you. So on that note, good night. May your gods bless you.
See you soon, guys. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
And my mouse is there. There we go. And thank you, Bob Lazar, for your song. And thank you. I know you're gone one true Saxon, but thank you for your kind donation as well. It does help. Every little bit helps.
Thanks, mate. Much appreciated.
So that's it, man. We're out of here.
For there is nothing hidden that will not be revealed, and nothing concealed that will not be known and illuminated. Stay blessed and keep safe. This is the hidden underbelly. Stay blessed and keep safe.